you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast on a Wednesday with Mike and Jay. Big E is here. Poos is here. How are you, pal? How was your day?
I'm in that regular range of well to quite well.
All right. Very good.
Very
good.
busy today.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of trying to get my bearings here a little bit.
Yeah. How about you, E?
It was all right, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to. Well,
Uh-oh.
What happened, dude?
I don't even know if I want
No,
No, you've already gone there, so go ahead. What'd you do?
to. We're in a situation.
What's his name?
Where I might
What's
have to.
his name?
We might have to be.
Are you in love?
I kind of glossed over that we'd had a little situation in the hotel room over the weekend.
Oh boy.
And
Wait a minute. What'd you do with her, you sick son of a bitch?
No. But if you remember involving some pop being spilled.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Asshole.
they're trying-
32-year-old.
31. And I didn't do the spilling. My friend, but
Throw
They're
him
trying
under
to
the
collect from you.
they're trying to collect some
Good,
money from
good,
the
as they
situation. and luckily, I wasn't technically at fault. So
Have they contacted the juvenile court system? Fucking homo.
so I had to deal with calling some of my buddies and trying to know. So
Wow, you need to get a good lawyer.
yeah, Jay, you ready for a case?
Call
Jay?
Dave Helm, man.
He's going to be the prosecutor
I
on the
got time
case.
for your shit.
He's not going to be the defense on this one. Yeah, call Helm.
No, I mean I don't disagree. There's some charges, some room fees. I do think that the overall price ended up
What
being
is
a
it?
little,
What is
little
it?
higher than I think it should be.
What is it?
It's in the 1100 range.
You ass.
Dude, it was no way was it $1,100. I think they're trying
Oh,
to.
that's your call?
I think it's no. I think that I think they saw a room and I think that they could take advantage. I think they're kind of hammering.
What's wrong
home a
with
little.
you, man? Why would you do that?
I didn't even do it.
Drunk.
For one, I was a part of it, but I didn't do it.
This is a slam dunk for Helm law. If Helm goes into court with you and just goes, Your Honor.
I wasn't a part of it. I didn't actually do it. I'm not, and I'm only,
Well, your name's on the thing, but
no,
if he
it's-
just
no,
goes
it's not
into
my credit card.
court,
It's not even my credit card. I'm not going to say who's had the credit card now, but it wasn't mine, and I didn't do it. So I'm actually not going to pay. I'm not even paying any money out in this. But I do think it was a little more money than it really.
is your buddy going to pay it, or is
Well,
he
here's the
taking
thing.
responsibility?
Here's the thing. Yeah, the one that did it is going to actually. But here's the thing, dude. They listed on the thing of things that were, damaged, quote unquote. And one of them is like bath towel. Well, dude, I'm sorry, but it was just Coca-Cola. Like, what if someone had spilled? I mean, I get the sheets and, stuff like that maybe, but like, bath towel, really? No one has ever been in a hotel. I mean, what if I just spilled some Coke on the floor and what would you pick it up with? A bath? So, bath towel, hand towel,
So
come
you're
on.
objecting to the $5.95 charge for
They
the
were
bath towel?
It wasn't $5.95, dude. These were clearly high-end bath towels.
Yeah.
So,
Thread count. If I were David Helm, I would definitely play off your feeble-mindedness.
Yeah,
I would
just
show up with you in a helmet.
walk in and go, Your Honor,
Just
I
like
present Eric Fady. I rest my case.
right.
I present
yeah.
a
No
man
further
child.
questions.
Well, luckily, like I said, actually, my one friend is being responsible who really was more.
Which friend?
I'm
Who
not going
did
to
this?
say it. I'm not going to say.
Well, there's only two possibilities.
I know.
Yeah.
And you guys know.
Draw
but
your
they-
own conclusions.
Is this TCG? Was TCG
I'm not
involved in
saying
this?
who. I'm not going to say a name.
Was this?
necessarily,
Was
but
this?
Matt.
I'm not saying a name, but
Was it Hurley?
I'm not saying who it was. but
Burley, Hurley, Pearly? What is
I
it?
got 5 friends. People can decide which one they think it was, but it wasn't me, believe it or not. And so the person's actually being really cool. And even though he dumped it on me, and I'm sure that me being immature was kind of like, I probably didn't. I mean, I was laughing about it when it happened, but I didn't do it. So
He's like, I probably did not. It's as if he can't
Well, I don't think I-
remember any of it.
I don't think I
Isn't
definitely.
there an assumed guilt by association
Fuck, dude.
that should apply? I mean, I feel like some charges should be levied against all parties, and E would be included in that. I want to be on the witness stand as a part for the prosecution. I want to be a witness
Character
for
witness?
character witness for the prosecution. I want this to go
I
want this in trial,
I
and
think.
I want to be a character witness.
I'm just saying. I don't think.
And I
it's
want Jay to
as
cross-examine me.
much- Look at dude.
Isn't it true? He's a complete fuckface.
He is. Yes. You've got that right, counselor.
A moron.
Well, I'm just saying, dude. No, wait a minute. Whoa. Now, look, I get it. I get that there was a little higher end stuff at this hotel, quote unquote, by the way. I mean, to me, I don't know the difference, but quote unquote, maybe their sheets are a little higher thread count than the Days Inn. It was a little nicer of a hotel. But dude, they have, what if, I mean, you can't, to me, what if someone had just spilled fucking, some
Yeah,
pop
but they
on their
didn't.
bed?
You
It
guys
doesn't
were
matter.
malicious.
It doesn't-
Destruction of
Oh,
property.
come on.
No better than the U of M students.
No,
Up
whoa,
north.
whoa, whoa.
Same thing.
Whoa.
Same thing.
I
They
don't-
just had more people
What
to
if
do
I
the
had waken
damage.
up in the morning and what if I had food poisoning and just
They're
thrown
just
up on my
younger.
sheets?
It's more excusable.
What if
Right.
I
32 years old.
What if I
32 years
31?
old.
I'm not one. I'm 31. Stop
Shut
saying
up over
32.
there.
No,
Stop.
no.
Yes.
I'm 31.
Fine. Inexcusable at 31.
And I-
It's
and I-
not really
And I
excusable at
wasn't the one
18,
who, and I
but
wasn't the one
whatever.
who did it. But
If I were able to like well up on the stand when I'm breaking E down, would that help to a jury box? Like if I was like, he comes into my house and he leaves the door open. He doesn't even shut off the garage light. My cats are common. It's commonplace to find them wandering helplessly in the garage because this monster over here refuses to close the door, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get worked up. Would
wait a minute,
that
this is
help?
supposed to help me?
No.
No.
Oh, no, I'm
Why are you trying to hurt
I'm
absolutely.
gonna
me?
sink your ass. He's for the prosecution.
Yeah, I'm a
Why?
character witness for the follow the conversation, retard. I'm a character witness for the prosecution.
Why would you do that?
Because I want you to go down to Chinatown, you
Well, it's
son of a
not even
bitch.
me. I'm not the one who's going to pay it anyway. So you're talking about my friend. You want my friend
No,
to
we're
go
talking
down.
about his dad. Is who we're talking
Yeah,
about.
no, we're
That's
talking
right.
about my friend who you want to go down, apparently.
No, remember the whole part of guilt by association. I want you dragged into the lawsuit. I wanted to go to trial. I want Jay to be the prosecution,
lawsuit?
and I want to be a character witness.
Are we just supposed to believe you that you? Oh, it wasn't me. It was my friend. Everything we know about you, we're just supposed to believe that.
Yeah. I mean, I've done plenty in rooms in the past that I've never had. I mean, it just, I don't know. Whatever, but I
Well,
just think
good
the
luck
money
with
was,
that.
I just think the money was I don't disagree that there should have been some sort of charges brought to maybe some of this. I just don't think it was $1,100.
Have you
worth.
learned from this?
Have I?
Yeah. You be honest. No.
I don't know, man. Probably not, I guess. I don't.
Probably
or,
not.
or whatever.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know if I guess no. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, more details to come on this. This is a
Yeah.
developing
It
story.
is developing. Breaking news.
To the Astronom file for sure.
I'll let you know
with the
if we
ease
can get this down a little
impending
bit.
court case. His trial's coming up soon. We'll keep you posted. I don't know which is going to be more exciting, that trial or the Pigman trial.
Oh God, where's that pigment
It's
trial?
not going to be a trial. There's just going to be a trying to get it down a little bit.
Well, not
and-
with an attitude like that, there won't be. Come on, E. This could be big.
So what-
This could be big for us.
What would you pay?
I
You
think.
don't want to pay 1,100. What would you?
I think it was probably. I said 300. We both agreed that if it was like $300, we wouldn't even thought about it. We probably would have thought, yeah, probably. That
Mhm.
no, dude. You know what? Like I said, one of it said like I wish I don't have it in front of me, but I don't have the prices of what the layout was. But like I said, hand towel. I'm
How
sorry,
much was spilled?
about a quarter of a 2-liter.
Just like shook around. He just
Yeah.
whipped
Oh,
it
yeah.
around.
yeah.
didn't
Well,
he?
my
around.
friend
That's
has a.
but there are,
usually-
but
Was he
Jay,
mimiking a sex move or something?
No, usually it ends
Jay,
up.
what you're
no,
missing
no.
here is they're a big hotel chain. They can afford this.
Yeah.
It's actually
that's
not.
true.
That's the problem.
Just bail the little guy out.
It's
Deep
not a big.
pockets.
It's not a big hotel chain actually. I felt like that was maybe one of our.
Oh,
issues.
I mean, we're
that was the
totally
misstep.
in the wrong, but we shouldn't be really liable for the whole
That's
thing.
not what I said. That's not what I
I
said.
mean, 300. That's it.
That's not what I said.
Even
I
though
don't-
it cost.
Whoa, whoa,
1,100
whoa. That's not what I said. I don't believe for a second. People stay in hotels all the time. What if I'd gotten the stomach flu and thrown up on my bed? Would that be the same thing?
That's not what
People
happened.
come on sheets all the time.
What
the-
what if it really cost them $1,100 to clean up all your friends' shit all over the fucking room that he threw?
I think what I think happened is they saw an opportunity to just we'll just chuck this shit out and buy new stuff, and it looks responsible. It looks ridiculous enough that we could get away with it. That's what I think. Again, I don't believe that. That's my thing. I'm not saying that if stuff was literally damaged enough that they couldn't just wash it and be okay. If that's the case, then okay. If they could, if I didn't look at I didn't look at it. I don't know it enough. All I'm saying is I don't think it was $1,100 worth. Do I think it was 300?
there was no
Maybe.
lasting damage. In other words,
That's my
Just all
belief.
clean,
I
yeah.
believe it's
I could
Coke.
see that. I mean, it's fucking Coke.
We
Right?
didn't drop.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But if it gets into an electronics thing, if it,
It
gets
didn't.
into
That's
the
not what they
TV
said, though.
if they're
Well, I
just
don't
saying,
know,
if
I'm
they're
just
just
asking.
saying sheets and towels and steam clean the carpet and stuff.
There's not even carpet. There wasn't carpet in this room either.
Yeah. What?
There wasn't
Where's
carpet.
the $1,100 come from? Me, I'm siding with you now.
Here.
Where's your bill, dude?
I don't have the freaking numbers, but here.
We're only getting half a story here.
No, you're not.
Should we call the hotel?
Yes.
You know what? I would do it if I didn't want to. I don't want to do something to hurt my.
Well, let's try to talk him down.
I want my buddy to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. But let me just.
You don't trust Mike and I to negotiate?
No,
You
I
don't
don't.
think, as a couple competent attorneys, that we can handle this?
I don't. And you know what? Unfortunately, the text that I got sent doesn't show me the exact dollar amount, but this is literally like
What do they list? The
one
itemized bill.
one ruined duvet and duvet
Cover.
insert. So that's the thing on top of the bed, right?
Yeah.
Dude, at this point, well into the night, I'd already, I take that thing off usually the minute I even get a hotel
That's
room.
the thing that doesn't get washed. So absolutely, everybody walking in a hotel room ought to grab that and chuck it in the corner
Really?
because it's got smudge all over it.
Okay.
You should never, ever, ever sleep with the duvet.
One
Okay.
ruined
I didn't know
duvet
that.
cover. So a cover and the insert. I'm telling you right now, for a fact, that never gets a little. I mean, it was not even on the bed. At this
The
point, it had
insert
been
can be recovered. It's probably got shit stains all over it.
3 ruined pillows. I don't know, maybe. The pillows are one I'm a little more siding with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, those
Why?
are $20
What-
each.
Just
What
because
do you
I
remember about that?
because I slept in it all night, so I don't know
Yeah,
how
you're
that
just
works.
dirty as shit.
Ugh.
Should probably replace
3
any
ruined pillow
that-
covers, 1 ruined bath towel. And that's, like I said, I mean, granted, I can't see here, unfortunately, how much money they say the bath towel was, but give me a break. A bath towel? Most people take towels.
If they're going to
in
go
the
to
end.
this extent, though, they're going to itemize everything that was.
I get it, but I'm
fucked with.
saying, but that doesn't mean it should.
That's his point, though. They're just liberally laying
That's
it
my-
out there.
yeah,
Like, we
wouldn't
got
you?
these guys dead nuts.
Yeah.
Right, they
So
walk
we're
into
gonna
the room.
Charge them the max.
Right, they saw what it looked like, so they just figured that they should just. And I'm just saying, a bath towel, really? How many people have ever been in a hotel room and maybe spilled something? I mean, you just put them on the floor when you step out of the bathroom. I mean, and then filtered sheets. I get it. Flat sheets, hand towel. Pff, come on, a hand towel.
I'm waiting for the big money lost here. Where is
Yeah.
it? Where's the TV?
The blanket is the big one. I'm guessing just because it seemed
The
like
duvet,
a
you
pretty
mean?
nice blanket. It says ruined Q blanket, whatever that is, and then the
Ruined.
1 ruined mattress cover.
Ooh.
And then 3
Yeah,
ruined.
we're gonna fight this. This is all shit that could be washed.
Yeah. So
That's my
far.
point. That is my only point. Like, if they really, like, I don't believe that stuff couldn't. And then that's why I said $300. If they took a little extra dry
Yeah.
cleaning material, I
Or
guess.
took extra labor to clean off the walls and shit, but nothing's
Yeah,
ruined.
that's what I was worried about was the walls.
But it wasn't. That's my point. It was literally in one little maybe, and there was no carpet. It would have like drywood floor. So, and I remember the next morning
Hardwood.
or hardwood floor. I remember the next morning.
You're getting fucked by the man here. You should be used to this, but
I
you
see
are
where
getting
this
fucked
is
by the man.
going, and you're siding with him. I still would like to serve as a character witness for the prosecution.
And again,
I'm just going on record saying that.
look, at my buddy has already said that he's willing to pay the money if he really believed that he'd caused that kind of. He said, what had been happening is my one friend he doesn't drink as much as me and Ty do, and he just got a little too drunk and got a little.
Okay, so now we know who did it.
Oh shit! Well, yeah,
That wasn't
Power of
hard.
deduction.
whatever. You know what though? He's a good guy. This is a rare time where he got a little more crazy than he's.
Everybody
done,
has a
but-
bad night.
Yeah.
And trust me, I get it. He's not me though, dude.
We heard the same shit about Michael Brown.
Yeah, we
On his way to
didn't we?
college, just walking his way to Nana's
He's graduated from college. Thank you very much. He wasn't on.
house. Well, Michael Brown wasn't old enough yet. He was on his way to graduation.
Look, all I'm saying is
short
I
years
just
later.
don't believe. No, I just don't believe that that's 11. And he actually tried to tell my buddy, like, oh, we actually could have taken the whole mattress on and put it on your
For
belt.
Coke?
It was
God, this is
Coca-Cola, dude.
bullshit.
There was not.
Did you try to
anything
say,
more than
"Oh,
Coke. I haven't
it
talked to
exploded
anybody.
on me"?
I haven't talked to
We had a
You
anybody.
guys
can of
would have
Coke in there.
shat on all this stuff. I get it. Did you guys shit on
Did
this
you-
stuff?
you did,
No, I
didn't
This
did
is
you?
not.
Coke. Is Coke code for
No.
we diarrhea shat all
we
over
didn't
everything?
smoke. None of us smoked, so it wasn't like we snuck sick. It wasn't like we were in a no smoking room and there was
Couldn't
like
you just go? We had a warm case of Coke in the car. We brought it inside, and a couple cans
exactly.
exploded.
That's my point.
Yeah, you already have zero character. Why not lie about it?
Well, it's not even me. No, but it's not me. My buddy is gonna.
All right, he has no character either. Why doesn't he just lie?
That's what I told him. I said, because what's the difference? No, I told
Why
him.
don't you say, my friend has Parkinson's. Thanks a lot for being very understanding. And he shook up a can of Coke that kind of exploded in the room. Thanks for being so understanding.
Right, I agree.
I mean, you're off. Then they feel terrible. You probably get some press out of it.
Well,
that they hassled this guy with a disability.
Well, that's why I said, well, what would be the difference if you were, you can be an asshole.
Oh, you're talking
all you
about
want.
his friend. I thought you meant him.
Well, both. Two guys with a
You can be an asshole all you want, but what if I was in the same room?
What kind of press is that? If they're hassling a retard and a guy with Parkinson's, we could blow this thing up. E.
That's true,
this is great press for us. E. Good
Yeah,
job.
This is really good news.
Well, whatever. I'm just
And the Asian TCG, they my
Oh,
god,
this is
the
just,
plot thickens.
Yeah,
This is ugly.
This is
ugly
racism
stuff.
on
It's
top of
ugly
it.
stuff.
oh, this is terrible. But E, here's the problem. You keep saying, well, what if we puked? Well, what if we spilled but you didn't.
I know, but
you guys went out and trashed the fucking room. You bragged about it. Shut up. You bragged about the fact that you guys got drunk as shit and kind of trashed the room. You slept in it. It was hilarious. We had a good chuckle about it. We called you immature. And then here, now they've hit you with fines for it. And it's like, this is bullshit.
But he has a decent point, though. His point is it's no more ruined than it would have been had somebody actually puked or had a regular accident.
This is the wording I said. This is the wording I said to my buddy Matt. And I know I'm not a lawyer like Jay over here is, but I said damage is damage. But it doesn't matter how that damage happened. And we didn't bust open a TV. We didn't bust open a window. What if a family had been in there?
It was pursuant to malfeasance.
but the damage
and that's
is
the problem.
Okay.
The context means something here, E.
Yes. Yeah, E. What he said.
Whatever.
Basically, they're holding over your head. Look, dude, we could report this to the authorities unless you pay us the big money. If this were just damage, as you say, per some puke or some shit incident, some accidental shit incident, I should add, then they're not going to have that hanging over you, and they're just going to clean it up.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really. What could they really?
Dude,
do you see this having legs?
Almost malicious destruction of property, is it not?
I don't.
I mean, it was malicious.
No,
over
$500.
Over $500 is a felony, right?
Oh my god! E.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I swear to God, I think over $500.
We need helm involved.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Call helm immediately.
I'm not even kidding. I thought over $500 is a felony.
The
when
money's
it's
already been paid.
destruction of
Technically,
property.
the money's already been paid because it already came out of the guy's credit card.
David Helm 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com.
Wow.
You're not writing that down.
It's right over there. I'll take it when I got. I'll ask.
He's got a water bottle sitting right there. He can grab a little tiny wee one.
Ah, look at that! Look at that! Look at that little
wee bottle. Well, anyway, so we'll see what I'll let you know.
All right,
what
to the
happens.
Astronom file. Yeah, we're gonna ask you questions as this trial continues.
I'm with you. You fight it, man.
Anyway,
my buddy will be. So
we should probably get to the actual show today.
Shit! Sorry.
Dare I say a big one?
Sorry.
We got a lot to get to. The guy that killed Jeffrey Dahmer has made some comments as to why he did that. Yeah.
Jeez.
Back in 94.
Yeah, I think it was 94.
94. And then we got some breasts to discuss. We got kind of a dick professor. We'll get to Gibby too. Unbelievable news out of it with Kirk Gibson. Wings Game 7 is going to look a little different. We got we should probably start though with the aftermath in Baltimore.
Aftermath or ongoing math.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got the strict curfew through Friday,
true.
so that should stop everybody.
Got the threat of civil citation over their heads.
Well, they've got like 3,000 of the National Guard on there, and then they've got a couple thousand more on standby.
What they have yesterday, like 200 cops or something. So this is significant.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. I was watching it all day, and they can't wait to cover this more. We got a couple videos we'll play too. Yeah, you can pull them up here in a sec. But interesting how what's ended up happening. Everybody wants to brush this off as just boys will be boys kind of thing, which is just disgusting to me to see these so-called community leaders coming out and almost defending this behavior. Like, well, this is what happens, when you're so wronged for so many years. This is, what do you expect? They don't know what else to do.
Nuts.
It's everybody's trying to say the right things, but if you read between the lines, it's like they're almost excusing this behavior. But they're all saying like, oh, well, absolutely not. We don't want the destruction of property and blah, blah, blah. That big building fire that was going on that we saw, not the CVS one, that big building.
Wasn't it a senior center or something?
More details have come out on that. That was a senior building that one of the churches had raised public funds for. They had charity drives to raise most of the money for that. It was still in the process of being built. It was going to house low-income seniors, and it's completely torched to the ground. Cost $16 million.
Oh my God!
Yeah, in the toilet, totally fucking washed. And
Wow.
more details about CVS too. They'd gone into that CVS and gutted it. And my first thought was, I wonder how long it took before they went back to the pharmacy, after they got the diapers. And, because the fact is there are really expensive drugs back there, whether you're on pain meds, which they know in an instant would sell for a fortune on the streets, cancer drugs that go for $1,000 a pill, things like that. If people knew it, so
If they know what they're looking at, though.
well, they sort of did. They went in and all the scripts that were filled in their little bag and stapled shut for the seniors in that community. That's the only pharmacy where you can get shit filled for that community. There's not another pharmacy for a mile. So they went in and stole all the fucking filled shit. And then they went and they found the 300-pound safe in the back and busted that out the back door, which was filled with OxyContin, all the pain meds. And so who knows how long it took before they busted that open, stole all that shit. The ATM that was stolen, they busted into, stole every dollar out of it. I thought those were really hard to break into, but they busted into it. So yeah, I mean, that's just a fraction of what was going on there, let alone all the buildings. And I think 19 buildings were completely destroyed by fire, 200 cars. They had 235 arrests. And of course it was just a bunch of 13 to 14 year olds,
13, right. I
13
heard
to
that
14 year olds, but 201 of those arrests were adults.
Wow.
So, you can say all you want about the children just being children.
And did they have a status to whether those adults were from Baltimore or were they busted in?
I haven't seen that yet, but I guarantee they were.
Yeah.
Those look like neighborhood people to me.
Right. But they always blame it on, well, these are outsiders. These aren't the people of the community.
And now you're seeing the typical argument ramp up about what to call people, because people.
Dude, the word thug, right, is off
Thug.
the table now.
Thug apparently is off the table.
Yeah.
Well, what is the problem with thug? It describes a behavior and an act. And so
Thuggery. Describes thuggery.
Who are we offending, by the way? Who is it that we're trying to protect?
Those who engage in thuggery.
Right. Like, is that not lost on anybody else that this behavior, when you call it what it is, I mean, you could call it pillowcases. Again, it doesn't matter what you call it. You're describing a behavior that we can all go, oh, yeah, I know what thugs do.
Mike, that's just a veiled reference to the N-word.
Which is what happened tonight. You want to play this video on Erin Burnett tonight, just like an hour ago on CNN. Okay. She got into it with Baltimore City Councilman Carl Stokes. And she questioned whether, because the mayor called them thugs, Stephanie Rollins Blake, and Obama called them thugs today for their behavior. And so this is what Erin Burnett's got into with them on CNN.
The mayor of Baltimore, who's come under a lot of criticism, scathing criticism for her handling of this, referred to the people who were doing this last night as thugs. And she got a lot of criticism for that. There were people I saw on Twitter saying, why would you call them thugs? Then they're not going to listen to you. President Obama also called the protesters, in his words today, quote unquote, criminals and thugs. He also carefully chose to use that word. Isn't it the right word?
No, of course, it's not the right word to call our children thugs. These are children who have been set aside, marginalized, who have not been engaged by us. No, we don't have to call them thugs.
But how does that justify what they did?
No excuse.
I mean, that's a sense of right from wrong. They know it's wrong to steal and burn down a CVS and an old person's home. I mean, come on.
Come on. So calling them thugs, just call them niggers. Just call them niggers. No, we don't have to call them by names such as that. We don't have to do that. That is exactly
they might take offense at that.
We sent them to. No, when you say come on what? You would call your child a
That's
thug
your councilman,
if they
by the
do
way.
Something that would not be what you would expect them to do.
Okay, don't call them thugs then. Call them pieces of shit.
Yeah, call them assholes.
Piece of shit thieves, rioters.
I don't know who the protection is for. Like, is someone that would actually be offended by the word thugs or thug behavior watching that, taking offense to that?
No, they're just trying to make it a racial issue.
Yeah.
Just hey, white guy commenting on this is all racial, see, and excuses it all if it's a racial issue, because then you can say what he just said. This marginalized youth, look at this.
Aren't we getting into semantics at this point, though? Like, you're dealing with a black mayor said that, and the black president of the United States.
If it's good enough for Obama, it's good enough for me. They're thugs.
They are thugs. Sorry. That behavior is what we all describe as thug criminal behavior.
Dude,
call them arsonists, call them thugs.
It's just a shell game. They're just trying to move it away from that, and they're trying to excuse it, and they're trying to make it a racial issue, and they're trying to say what he just said. This is youth that's been marginalized, and here you are just marginalizing them more by calling them names.
Yeah.
And trying to churn this thing and turn it in like a semantical thing into a real issue. And it's not. It's bullshit. There's no excuse. And that right there is a microcosm of what I fucking hate about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy. There's no excuse for it. She said it herself. She was right on. There's right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know the difference between a right and wrong. I don't care how marginalized you are. You know it's not right to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Robbing and stealing and burning and
rioting, beating up cops. We're watching. Go online. You can watch thousands of videos because everybody's got a camera on them. And you can watch this group of thugs absolutely beating up random white people. Talk about racism when you're single-handedly picking out white people to target and then gang fucking jump and beat.
Yeah,
that's
we just watched
racism.
One on Facebook, man. It was posted, I think, outside Camden Yards the other night. Not last night, but the night before.
This idea that racism is a one-way street, that you can't be racist. The definition of racism is targeting another race because that's their race. Like, I don't care if it's white or black or whatever the issue is. If you're singling out white people in a crowd simply because they're white, that's racism. Call it what it is. And we'd be saying the same thing, by the way, if this was a group of Jewish men trashing their city. We'd be going, look at these fucking thugs, man. Look at this thug behavior. It's nothing to do with the color of their skin. And this idea of shifting from what the real discussion is to make it something petty and racist, and try to tag that racist thing like, well, here we go again. The white people, of course, just call them what they are. Call them niggas. Just that's what they are. That's what you're saying for real. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're calling out the behavior that the whole fucking world is watching. That's what we're calling out. And that's your councilman. That's your representative. That's your leader in town. You would hope that the leaders would be coming out going, this is inexcusable. We are going to file felony charges against anybody who we can catch. Anybody that turns someone in, there's rewards for. They torched a $16 million project that they've been working on for 8 years.
That's to benefit seniors in that community.
Low income seniors. Yeah. Fuck them, right? Fuck them. We got a point to prove. We're taking back what's ours.
Excuse it somehow. It's unreal, man.
And it's hard for me to do this part of the story because fuck the journalists. These people that have to make themselves, they're more important to the story than anybody else. All these people that fly in and have to be first on the scene, reporting live from the dog shit farm. They're more the story than the actual story anymore. They're celebrity journalists all over, but a lot of them were smacked around out there, which is kind of funny. So we've got a bunch of journalists in Baltimore got a taste of war reporting as they covered the race riots that broke out. All the journalists targeted, 5 so far have been injured and a cameraman. All of them were targeted Monday. They say they were attacked by rioters, but wanted to be clear, they weren't attacked by police, which is rare. I would think, there's a battle going on. You're caught in the middle. You would think the cops would be beating them indiscriminately too, but no. Surprisingly, just the rioters were attacking them. That's weird how that works. But a cameraman for closed circuit television, a Chinese news station. Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
Okay, good. That focuses on issues impacting Asia and Latin America. Posted a photo showing blood streaming down his face after a protester beat him and stole his camera.
Nice.
Taking back what's ours, Jay. I have a broken nose. Another cameraman named Oliver Janney. He was attacked while filming the chaos for CNN. I have a broken nose and 3 stitches in my upper lip. I got jumped covering the violence, but I'm okay. A Baltimore Sun reporter tweeted around 9 o'clock that one of the paper's photographers had been attacked by a group of rioters while trying to take pictures. People were yelling at him to stop taking pictures. The group then ran, tackled him to the ground, beat him while he was laying helpless. I ran around the cover from where my colleague was being beaten and screamed at a large group of police to help me, and they backed away from me. Yeah, you're going to go in there, you're on your own, man. Another Baltimore Sun journalist, Justin Fenton, said he was attacked, but that a member of the Bloods gang helped him out. Washington Post reporter Petula Dvorak was also targeted by the rioters. She was taking down notes on her phone when someone bumped into her, grabbed the device. They chased him down and got the thing back. Another reporter, Christy Aleto, was injured. She was sprayed by maced. She was maced in the face by a protester.
Man, I wouldn't want a female relative of mine down there. I'll tell you that much.
And then remember the guys I was telling you about yesterday? And this happened, I think, Saturday night with the Russian chick who got her purse stolen.
Oh, yeah.
That
was on video, wasn't it? Where they're like ripping it. She's
Yeah, it's like a swarm of bees. They see her and they come after her. And then, she says she works for Russia Today. At first, the men only want to get their message across. One guy came running up and said, "Rest in peace to my man, Freddie G." But as others gather, they start jeering anti-police messages. They got rowdier, eventually coming so close they knocked her over. Seconds later, she gets up and starts chasing them. "Give it back. Give me my bag." One of the cops tackled this dude and got her purse back. She's heard crying on the footage, but there's the quick still shot of the action.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, the other part of this story that I'm seeing over and over is they keep coming back to, hey, let's keep our focus here on what this is about. A young man lost his life. This is about Freddie Gray, who lost his life. That's what this is about. We need to keep the focus on that because we need justice for Freddie Gray. And I'm not shitting you. They were saying they called his they were saying stuff like, this young man had his whole life ahead of him, was taken away by these ruthless policemen.
Seen his rap sheet.
They took that from him. All his hopes, all his dreams were dashed because of these police who refused to leave him alone. So it's like, okay, why would they refuse to leave him alone? And it doesn't take much searching to see what Freddie Gray was really like. And unfortunately for the narrative, it seems to fit the same narrative that we see in a lot of these cases. Freddie Gray had a quite a lengthy arrest record, convictions dating back as far as 2007, 18 arrests since then, including July 16th, 2007, possession of a controlled dangerous substance with intent to distribute, unlawful possession of a controlled dangerous substance. August 23rd, 2007, false statement to a police officer, unlawful possession of a controlled substance. August 28th, 5 days later, possession of marijuana. 1 day later, possession of a controlled dangerous substance with intent to distribute, violation of probation. February 11th, 2008, unlawful possession of a controlled dangerous substance, possession of a controlled dangerous substance. March 28th, possession. July 16th of 2008, possession. Possession with intent to distribute. April 13th, 2012, possession. September 28th, distribution of narcotics, unlawful possession. Assault charges, second degree escape from the cops. January 25th, possession. August 31st, illegal gambling, trespassing. December 14th, possession. December 31st, New Year's Eve, possession of narcotics, intent to distribute. January 14th, possession of a controlled dangerous substance, intent. January 20th, 2015, fourth degree burglary and trespassing. March 13th, 2015, malicious destruction of property, second degree assault. March 20th, possession of a controlled dangerous. This guy's a crack fucking dealer. He's a career crack dealer. We are going to the mat for a career crack dealer with a record. And the fact is, whether the cops beat him to death or he fucking rammed his own head into the inside of that truck, we'll probably never know the real story. But the fact is,
whatever it was,
if he would have just not taken off in a crime-riddled area from the cops when they wanted to talk to him, he'd probably be alive today to get his 19th fucking possession arrest
in just over 7 years.
Yeah.
Imagine averaging 2+ arrests
a year.
Over 7 years.
And the funny thing is,
At some point the light bulb doesn't go on. And you go, I got to change my ways, or I'm going to end up dead.
He took 4 years off. He didn't get busted. He kept his shit together from July of 2008 to April of 2012.
Oh my God.
So he had a run there where he didn't get caught,
Right.
or he moved to a new neighborhood. Who knows? but this idea that this is your martyr, this is the guy that's like you're willing to burn a city down, torch your city over.
Right.
I mean, not that, and it makes it sound like fuck that guy's life. Like people can't turn their shit around. You know, Jay-Z used to sell drugs and now he's a billionaire. So it's not that people can't get their shit together, but to act like this guy was just
Minding his own business.
on his way to college tomorrow is a joke.
Yeah.
And it makes people that look at it go, wait a minute. This doesn't seem like racial profiling as much as it seems like a fucking crack dealer was refusing to stop dealing crack and didn't give a fuck about the consequences. And when the cops came to deal with him, he did what most crack dealers do. They fucking run because they know they're guilty as shit, which is why they found a switchblade on him. Not that he deserved to die, but I'm just saying, I mean, there is another half to this story that nobody wants to talk
knows.
about.
Nobody knows what the hell happened yet. That's what kills me.
He's been in and out of prison on drug convictions since 2008. He was set to start trial in May on drug charges stemming from his December arrest. So at least he's off the hook on that one, I suppose. Silver lining, right? We're always looking for the silver lining. Details of what led to the arrest, they remain a bit vague, but documents said that he's been charged with unlawful possession with a switchblade, which was later found when he was detained. The officers believe he was immediately involved or recently involved in criminal activity and decided to make contact. So they knew that he was in. They probably know him by name.
Sure.
There's fucking Freddie. I wonder what Freddie's up to.
Right.
But it's just crazy to me. Crazy. And then the other funny thing in this story, and then we'll move on, is that mom.
Dude, this mom is getting so much play.
Yeah.
She's ripe for a breakout, man. I said it right before we went on air. This is the type of chick who gets introduced at a State of the Union address at some point.
Yes.
I like LaTanya Johnson. Stand up, please.
Yeah. This is Mother of the Year and a standing ovation.
Yeah.
I could totally see a reality show in her future.
The simplest of actions, the simplest of parental action has put this woman as a saint, right?
Yeah. Hero, some would say.
Wow, she's objecting to her son's criminal activity. Hero.
The funny thing is, she's literally beating the shit out of her kid. I mean, she's wailing him in the face, and I thought we were trying to go away from that, like laying hands on children or whatever. But it was funny when I was reading this story earlier. Some of the comments were scrolling, and they're like, "What would you do in a situation like this if you were, what does this make you think?" And some guy jumps in and says, I want to call PETA.
Call PETA.
As in People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Oh, God.
That was fucking hilarious. He just says, call PETA. She's beating on her kid. I didn't say it, just reporting it. Anyway, yeah. So she's getting, as Jay mentioned, all this play. Congressmen are talking about. They're bringing it up in press conferences. What a hero. More mothers need to do this.
Seriously, put that in context. Like, she just stopped her son from taking part in looting and riot. Wow.
Yeah.
Way to step out and be a parent. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's remarkable. And I guess it is. I don't know. She's the only one seen doing that.
Chris Rock does that famous bit, his N-words versus black people rant. Have you ever seen him do that?
No.
Oh my God. Back me up on this. Funniest fucking stand-up ever. Chris Rock's.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen?
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I don't watch a lot of Chris Rock.
It's in one of his biggest stand-ups ever, where he's basically saying, and he stopped doing the bit because he thought white people were getting too much enjoyment out of the bit. But he was talking about how it's not just white people who hate N-words. Black people hate N-words just as much. And he does this whole bit on it where he's like, this one will tell you, I takes care of my kids. I pay my bills. And he's like, you're supposed to pay your bills, you motherfucker. You want a medal for that?
Right.
You take care of your kids? What do you want, something special for that? You're supposed to take care of your fucking kids.
That's exactly my feeling on this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what it made me think of. Like, what do you, like, what kind of
and
retarded argument is that?
Getting a proverbial medal for this.
Yeah.
You're just doing what a basic parent ought to do.
Yeah.
And like you say, probably overstepping their bounds and beating the shit out of the kid.
But nobody's talking about that.
Him.
Nobody cares about that. It's like, oh, she did what she had to do. It's funny, man. And then kind of the collateral damage to all this is the Orioles and the White Sox. The Orioles were in the middle of a 3 or 4 game series in town with the White Sox playing at Camden Yards, which is where that video comes from that we were watching before the show of the children having a disagreement with Orioles fans who were partying at what would amount to like Chelly's Chili here in Detroit. Like, think of people hanging out for a game, a playoff game or something. One of those right by the stadium where people are drinking and watching the game.
People are taking refuge in this bar as if it's a zombie apocalypse outside.
Yeah.
Like the guy with the camera runs in and everybody kind of grabs him at the doorway and pulls him in and shuts the door. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, they're just you're just seeing rocks and boulders being thrown. It's crazy. The Orioles have canceled 2 straight games now. So think of the lost revenue. Think about the hundreds of people that work inside that stadium and count on their paycheck every week who are not able to work. The schools are closed, so the kids at least got a day off for it. The 3rd game of their series will be played in an empty stadium tomorrow.
That's wild.
Yeah. They're going to play that game after consultation with Major League Baseball. City and local officials have said tomorrow's game between the Orioles and White Sox will begin at 2:05 and will be closed to the public.
That is nuts.
Isn't that crazy? Wednesday's game will be the first contest played without fan admittance in league history.
He couldn't get his mind around this. We were talking about this off the air, and he's, oh my God, like, are they going to have a PA announcer and shit? You know?
I don't think they will.
No, they'll just.
I know, but just the idea
of
it.
Walk
like
up to bat,
right?
Just walk up to bat, be like, all right, let's go.
But there's still going to be a radio broadcast, I'm sure of it, and I'm sure there'll probably be a TV broadcast, just like a Fox Sports version. So that's. I want to watch this game. Like, I want to watch.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone picked it up and broadcast it.
It'd be
ESPN
great,
or
dude.
something.
Yeah, I think the closest thing we've probably seen are those really late inning games where they go to like 19 innings and it's 3 in the morning and there's just a smattering of people in the stands.
Yeah.
But I just thought about the fact, like, foul balls, you know, and stuff. And there's going to be no beer person. Nobody's sitting there. Like, I don't know. I feel like even
do they do the donut races?
Right.
Who's going to win the donut race? Like all the little bullshit they do in those games.
Coming to bat, you know, playing some Eminem in the background. Like,
do they even put their stats up on the billboard?
I mean,
do they bother with any of that shit?
You're right. Is the scoreboard even on? What does it matter?
Do they do the 7th inning stretch? Do they bother? Do they do the national anthem for a game like that?
By the way, this is
Do
seriously.
they do player introductions?
That's a great. Do they do the national anthem? That's a great. I mean, I guess
they will. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
They probably would.
Real quick. This is complete out of nowhere, by the way. But I've never seen the poos lay down like she is right now. Like actually head on the. Look at that poops
on the astronom file,
right.
Or the astronom.
I know this is out of nowhere, but I've just been staring at the poos for about a minute or two now and thinking how cute it looked.
Lastly, on the
I'm sorry.
On the Orioles White Sox, they'll make up those 2 postponed games against the White Sox in a doubleheader May 28th, and then they're playing a weekend series against Tampa Bay that's supposed to be at home. That's going to be at Tropicana Field in Florida.
They'll swap out the other one,
and that's their rival. That's like Detroit going to play Kansas City in Kansas City, and Detroit's the home team.
They're going to swap it later though, or no?
No. The Orioles will play as the home team.
Games.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, look at the lengths they're going to because of this behavior by these children. Just children.
Just kids.
Just kids blowing off some steam, Jay.
Boys being boys.
They're just blowing off some steam.
Hey, Detroit Cast listeners, do I have some great news for you? Right now, you can lease a 2015 Taurus SHO for just $293 for 24 months. If you're not familiar with the Taurus SHO, let me share a couple little details with you. She has a 365 horsepower twin turbo EcoBoost V6 engine, all-wheel drive, pimped out leather interior, fat 20-inch aluminum wheels, and all this with wicked style, fuel economy, and roomy interior. So if you aren't already jumping into your crappy ass ride and heading to Zotford and Holly, I suggest you do it soon. leasing a $47,000 Taurus SHO for just $293 per month won't last long. I promise you that. Hurry down because this deal is only while supplies last. It's not Ford and Holly.
We'll get to a local story that I fear could turn into the next Baltimore. We kind of joked about it a little bit. Not joked about it, but we talked about it yesterday.
You mentioned it's Razor's Edge, man.
Yeah.
Just one little thing. And
we're one match flick away from igniting in a lot of cities. I could see Chicago going up. I could see Detroit going up. I could see Oakland going up. I could see Atlanta going up. And we might actually have that story in Detroit now. But Ray Lewis has finally come out. I've been waiting for the Baltimore people to come up that actually kids might listen to. Ray Lewis, I think, would fall in that category.
Now, real quick on his background, former linebacker, obviously, for the Ravens. But
Baltimore Ravens, yeah.
But he turned into, what, a preacher of some sort, or...
Ray Lewis did?
I think so.
Didn't he murder someone?
Yeah, he did at one point. Yeah,
he did.
Never convicted.
A storied
past. But he's an ESPN. He does the Monday Night Countdown stuff with Steve Young and Trent Dilfer. But anyway, he took to social media and posted a video of himself in his house. You want to check it out? Go ahead. E.
No way.
Portrait.
No way. No way this can happen in our city. No, young kids, you got to understand something.
You need some music.
Get off the streets. Violence is not the answer. Violence has never been the answer. Freddie Gray, we don't do nothing for him doing this. We know there's a deeper issue. We know what the jungle looks like, but this isn't it. It's enough of us in the streets trying to change what's going on. Baltimore, get off the streets. Kids, go home, stay home. You don't have no right to do what you're doing to this city. Too many hardworking people build this city. We put this city together. We put this city on our back. We with you. We know what's going on. We know the problems. We know there was wrong done. We know we're not getting the right justice. We know all these answers. But riding in our streets is wrong. It's dead wrong. We got to go back to the beginning. It takes a village. It takes a whole village to raise one child.
Oh boy.
We got to redefine what this looks like. We got to redefine what building Baltimore looks like. Because there's too many people putting real sweat, real tears to make our city a better place. I can't come back home and this is it. Kids can't walk the street. This is our future. Our future's in Baltimore. What we're trying to build is in Baltimore. Too many babies paying attention to this craziness. And the sad part is we got young kids trying to tell us how they're going to dictate our city. That won't happen. We must change this right now. Stop the violence, man. Go home. I'm telling you, go home. And whatever I got to do, it will not happen on our clock. It will not happen on our clock.
Already did.
Yeah. This young kids angle is killing me, man.
Yeah. I think it would be better served if it had the right music under it. Play it again, E. Let's try it.
I like the ashtray in the foreground, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, play it again.
No way. No way. No way this can happen in our city. No. Young kids, you got to understand something. Get off the streets. Violence is not the answer. Violence has never been the answer.
See what I'm saying?
Freddie Gray.
A little bit, yeah.
We don't do nothing for him doing this. We know there's a deeper issue.
This is a lot better.
We know what the jungle looks like.
It was missing something.
But this isn't it. It's enough of us in the streets trying to change what's going on. Baltimore, get off the street.
You get the point.
Dude, you know what, dude?
Benny Hill might work too.
I was thinking about Benny Hill. God
I
damn
should have. I'm sorry, that's my bad. You know what? The more I think about it, you've been playing the Celebration song. That might be better than Celebrate, honestly. With some of the Celebrate sounds a little better coming out of the break, but I mean,
yes, I liked Celebration. It's just got that.
It's got that feel of what's going on, you know, the celebratory feel.
You could try it with Celebrations underneath it.
Oh no! Oh, I want
Benny Hill. Yeah, Benny Hill would
We
work.
have to go back to the beginning.
There's
There's a bunch of cashed out blunts in that ashtray in the foreground.
It takes a whole village to raise one child. We got to redefine what this looks like.
Yeah.
We got to redefine what building Baltimore looks like. Because there's too many people putting real sweat,
I'm partial to this one.
real tears to make our city a better place. I can't come back home and this is it.
I just picture him running around in a circle really fast.
This is our future. Our future's in Baltimore. What we're trying to build is in Baltimore. Too many babies paying attention to this.
I bet there's some people that would find this
And the sad
disrespectful.
part is, we got young kids trying to tell us how they're going to dictate.
There
Actually-
it is again, the young kids angle. That kills
Yeah.
me, dude. That's
Yeah.
again just excusing it. They're trying to find an excuse.
Yeah, and acting like Freddie Gray is a justified, like,
Yeah.
this outrage is justified because of Freddie Gray, instead of just looking more and more like an opportunity to run martial, just run rampant through a city, knowing that nobody's going to do anything to stop you.
That's it right there. man.
And the problem is, it's funny, these cops are put in this horrible position of leadership not having their back. We're seeing that all over the country, and leadership not being real leaders in any of these situations. I'm sorry, people can say what they want about Ferguson, but I think Ferguson got it way more right than wrong as far as how to deal with a riotous crowd. You might not like it. It might look too militarized, but I'm sorry, if you're going to come and start destroying shit, and you saw what happened when they pulled back and tried to relieve some of that, kid gloves, it ramped up to tenfold, and they destroyed a city that will take decades to rebuild.
Well,
Ferguson will look
might
like
be
that for
different.
decades.
Tonight might be different in Baltimore. We'll see.
Yeah, Baltimore, that was their one shot to blow it out, and they did pretty good for a major city. It wasn't bad. I mean, millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of damage, but my fear, though, as we mentioned earlier and yesterday, is about something like that happening here in our town. Anybody that's from this area, whether the suburbs or the city of Detroit, fully understands what a razor's edge this town has lived on. And for the first time since I can remember, it seems like there's a little bit of light at the end of that tunnel. Like, just maybe there's enough people with enough power.
Yeah, it feels promising.
It feels promising with the new Wing Stadium, everything that Dan Gilbert has done downtown with Quicken Loans, the Illich family. There's just been a lot in the Midtown. There's
Bottom
a
line is
lot.
people are going down there and living down there and not just going to games or restaurants and getting the hell out of there.
And they're encouraged to live down there. And they're Quicken Loans, I think you have to live down there if you're going to work there. I thought, right? No,
I don't know.
No,
about
it's
that.
not Quicken Loans. Whatever it was. But anyway, you're encouraged to live down there for sure. And then you get a story like this, which we got a kid that was killed in Detroit, and the father of this kid killed by a federal agent has lashed out at law enforcement today, saying his son was unarmed when he was gunned down in his home right in front of him. My son died with clenched fists. He didn't have a hammer. They assassinated my son in my face, Kevin Kellum said during a rally. So they're already getting rallies together. Kellum disputed police claims that the 20-year-old son, Terrence, had a hammer in his hand when a federal agent approached him in his house. According to police, a fugitive task force had gone to the house about 1 o'clock on Monday to execute an arrest warrant for Terrence, a habitual offender who had fled while on probation and was wanted as a suspect in an armed robbery of a pizza delivery guy. When the task force arrived at the house, Kellum was hiding in the attic. Authorities told the father that they had an arrest warrant, and the father let them inside. At some point, Kellum emerged from the attic and came at a federal agent with a hammer. The agent responded by firing multiple shots. Neighbors have said as many as 10 shots were fired. Kevin Kellum tells a much different story. So that's the cop story. Believable. I don't think there's an agent on the planet who wants to open fire on an unarmed African-American person right now or ever. But he said his son was never in hiding. The police told him they had a search warrant to enter the house. He said the search warrant didn't materialize until 3 hours after his son was shot and killed. My son did not deserve this. Monday's fatal shooting started out as a domestic situation in which a woman called police earlier in the day to report a domestic dispute of some sort involving this kid. The woman told police where they could find him. He was also wanted on a 4-count warrant as a suspect in the armed robbery of the pizza guy. That call led a fugitive task force to the home. Police said Kellum advanced toward the agent with a hammer, and he fired and was backing up. He said there were 5 others in the house at the time. The agent is a lifelong Detroiter, 7-year veteran with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. He's been placed on administrative leave. He has no history of adverse personal actions. He was a decorated 12-year veteran of the Detroit Police Department before working for the federal government.
Unfortunately, he happens to be white.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. The U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuaid said her office is monitoring the situation. Yesterday's shooting was a tragedy, and we offer our deep condolences to the family. In a situation like this, it's important to protect the rights of both the deceased and the officer. Therefore, we are closely monitoring the investigation. Meanwhile, this latest shooting has triggered yet more public animosity towards law enforcement in Detroit. In light of national incidents, we find this latest shooting appalling, distressing, and despicable. That another young black man has to be killed in his house in front of his family with multiple gunshots, said Ron Scott, the spokesman of the Detroit Coalition Against Police Brutality. Kellum's family, meanwhile, is struggling to comprehend what happened. This family's been hit hard with loss after loss. The grandma died, the grandpa died, the aunt died all in the last couple of years. There's no way he would have threatened an officer. How often do we hear that? No way he would have done that. Physically, no way. He was smarter than that. He would never do that, especially in front of his family. According to Horton, Kellum was in the process of turning his life around. This is his stepsister or sister-in-law was saying stuff like this. He was in the process of turning his life around. He had a baby and another one on the way, which is great news. We all got saved recently, and we were encouraging Kellum to do the same. Near the shooting scene, there's already banners, and the protesters are gathering.
Memorial? Do we have a dripping pink teddy bear yet?
It hasn't rained yet, unless some sprinklers hit it. Or
do we have Mylar balloons and babies stapled to telephone poles?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not sure.
Let's get down there, E. What are you doing tomorrow?
What we do have
The man needs a makeshift memorial. Pay him some respects.
Sorry. I'll get us on as soon as I can, Jay.
People are down there waving cardboard signs, though, with stuff like, who do we call on the police, and 10 times excessive force in reference to the 10 bullets fired.
I heard that Tuesday there were some peaceful protests, though. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they usually start out as peaceful protests.
200 or so people peacefully.
Yeah.
But it just shows you how close you are.
Oh, yeah.
To the whole thing blowing. And unfortunately, a city in its infancy in recovery, like Detroit, that's taken 50 years to get any sort of glimmer of hope coming back. That a city like that cannot take what happened in Ferguson, Missouri, or what happened in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the economic impact of something like that. If it were to happen, you've got people who are putting their trust in this region, and then if it were to happen, sort of, oh boy.
And unfortunately, the world is watching these events, and kids are also seeing these events and going, yeah, we are justified in this. We are just kids blowing off steam because we have to, because the injustice is so great.
We've been marginalized.
Yeah. This is helping the problem. I know people say it, but we pick up on it. We understand there's no consequences for behavior like this.
It's a free-for-all, man. Everybody gets that free one night, right?
Yeah.
The celebration night.
I'm sorry, dude. If it was a free-for-all, though, and you could run into Rite Aid and grab anything you wanted,
I wouldn't be grabbing paper products.
I wouldn't
Paul
either.
takes care of that for
but
me.
But even if he wasn't, what are you talking about? $4 worth of tissue paper and toilet paper?
You got to go for the tobacco products, right? If you can't get your hands in on the drugs, like you said, the OxyContin, all that shit.
Yeah.
You go for tobacco products.
Which on some streets are $80 a pill. You get a bottle of those things.
Wow.
$80 a pill. You get a nice 500 count bottle. Do the math. But yeah, I mean, some people, they're not thinking this through. I mean, if you're going to go there and do that, why would you steal toilet paper? Like, go to McDonald's and steal the toilet paper.
It's oblong. It's wieldy. It's hard to, throw a couple things of toilet paper under your arm and run down the street with it.
Oh, I saw some guys like grins ear to ear, and he's running with like a 12-pack of Scott toilet paper. And it's like, dude, you don't really think you scored, do you? You didn't score with that.
Is that the guy who had like the fake Oreos and the toilet paper?
That was another different guy, but yeah, I saw that guy too. He had the blonde Oreos.
Yeah, big grin on his face. Fuckers, man. And he looked completely adult to me.
Oh,
he
was
in his 40s.
Yeah,
not a 13 to 16-year-old young man like Ray Lewis and everyone else is saying.
Just a child. Just a child.
Come on, children. See the light.
Anyway, let's take a quick time out, Jay. We'll come back and we'll update you on what's going on with the Wings and Kirk Gibson, as well as a professor down in Texas.
All right.
We'll give you some updates on that. We'll do it all next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
It's April, and you know what that means. Spring clean. Hey there, Detroit Cast listeners. It's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. Hey there, Detroit Cast listeners. It's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. It's April, and you know what that means. Spring cleaning. We have too many F-150s, and they got to go. Right now, get over $14,000 off a brand new 2014 F-150 Super Crew XLT 4x4. So, while supplies last, get an F-150 that stickers for almost $49,000 for just over $34,000. Do the math, because we all know Big E can't. That's over 30% off a brand new F-150 at Zott Ford. Friends, hurry in. With a sale like this, our supplies won't last long. Check out our incredible deals and our massive inventory at ZottFord.com. That's SZOTT.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Wednesday with Mike and Jay.
Hey, David Helm wants to tell you about his criminal law practice. We've all had them, our less than proud moments, leaving our children in the car, mouthing off to a cop, or having your hands full on the bus.
Spraying pop all over a hotel room.
Spraying pop. If you're in trouble with the law and find yourself labeled defendant, Helm Law can help. Call them at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
Very nice. Nicholas Cronwell, it looks like, could use perhaps a little
he's in some
intervention.
trouble, huh?
I don't know if he's got defendant next to his name, but he has been suspended.
Yeah,
from
that
game
sucks.
7 versus Tampa Bay. He's the best defenseman on the wings. I mean, he's got arguably the biggest leader on that team since Nicholas left. I mean, maybe Zetterberg, maybe Datsu, people could say, but Cronwell, he's right up there, man.
Big loss.
The NHL Department of Player Safety announced tonight that Cronwell has been suspended for one game for launching into a hit on Kucherov. And I don't know if you saw that late in the second period, about a minute left in the period. Oh, one of those where Kucherov's going around the boards and just peels around like do-do-do-do-do, and boom! Fucking lit him up, knocked his helmet.
Yeah, it was the
helmet
head
flying.
thing, right? That
Yeah.
gets everybody.
So they'll be out. They'll be without him for tonight, Wednesday's game 7. Ken Holland didn't say much. He basically said, we disagree with the decision. He didn't want to say anything else. The NHL said the punishment was decided upon because the hit resulted in significant contact. Officials did not call a penalty on the play, but the NHL deemed it illegal charging. The NHL also called out Cronwell for his feet leaving the ice before impact and for making contact with his forearm and elbow. What the fuck?
Isn't that something in real time? It's not a penalty in the midst of the game, but then if you slow it down and look frame by frame and you can see that he's leaving the ice and therefore it just comes down to inches, you know?
Probert's got people like Probert have to be rolling over in their graves.
Yeah.
Like what? That's a game suspension in the NHL nowadays.
It's the whole head injury thing, man. Is
it
Shanahan still involved in the disciplinary?
Last I knew he
believe
was.
so.
Yeah.
How could he do that to us?
By the way, Cronwell has been in the league 11 years now. This is the first time he's been punished for a hit.
Really? He's come close, man.
Yeah.
He's come really close.
But don't you think that says so? I would think that if you're a defenseman and as big a player as he is, not size-wise, but just, name way, you would think that a guy like that would get the benefit of the doubt of not being suspended for a game 7.
I feel like he got that benefit of the doubt a couple years ago. I feel like there was one of these instances.
Really?
And I can't put my finger on what series it was or what the circumstance, but I feel like it was a big playoff game and he did something like that and they gave him a pass. So
really,
he got Cronwelled, Mike.
Yeah.
So what's your feeling on the game?
I unfortunately like Tampa Bay at home.
Yeah.
The Wings blew an opportunity in game 6.
Game 4 lost the series, unfortunately.
Yeah. Game 4 was brutal. To lose a 2-goal lead with 5 minutes left is inexcusable.
Rooting for him, but
yeah,
gun to my head.
Yeah, you gotta like Tampa Bay's chances at home. And then the other big news today, in the sports world, anyways, is Kirk Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
They had this new deal announced with Fox Sports Detroit. He was going to be part of this rotation team that included, Mario and Rod in the broadcast booth
Jack Morris.
And I haven't heard. We heard him on opening day.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, and haven't heard him since. And I kept thinking, like, what is going on? Well, I thought they were going to be doing this rotation. Well, news breaks today that Gibson's got Parkinson's disease.
Michael J. Fox disease.
Yeah. So he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's. And he hasn't been in the broadcast booth since opening day. So Rod Allen finally not getting fucked by the 84 Tigers. Is that what that says? Is Rod Allen happy about that? No, I'm just kidding. Of course he's not. I have faced many different obstacles in my life and have always maintained a strong belief that no matter the circumstances, I could overcome those obstacles. While this diagnosis poses a new kind of challenge for me, I intend to stay true to my beliefs. With the support of my family and friends, I will meet this challenge with the same determination and unwavering intensity that I've displayed in all of my endeavors in life. I look forward to being back at the ballpark ASAP.
Do you have an age for him?
Isn't he 60 now?
Really? Wow.
I thought, or is that too old? 57. 57.
Man. I
Yeah.
like Gibby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wish him the best.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Luckily for him, Michael J. Fox got Parkinson's, and it's gone a tremendously long way to helping with how Parkinson's.
Good point.
I mean, seriously, if Michael J. Fox doesn't get Parkinson's, that disease is sitting dormant where it had been for years and years. But that guy has been able to lobby and get so much attention and money thrown at it. That it's actually making huge waves, and people can lead relatively productive lives now with daily meds, and you can live a really long time with it, and really kind of squash down some of the side effects of it. So yeah, all the best to Gibson. But
did they give a time frame on when he might be back in the booth? Because that was pretty interesting, that opening day broadcast. And I remember us all kind of talking about how's this going to fit.
Yeah, no, they didn't. He said, just ASAP.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy, crazy.
Well, don't forget, if you're in trouble, call David Helm, man. If you're a young, attractive female teacher who's eager to brighten her student's future, or you enjoy a good beer but can't seem to find the time to fix your taillight, call Helm Law, 248-679-8804, or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation. Tell them you support the Detroit Cast and receive 15% off.
Now, a teacher, and this isn't going the way it usually goes with TOEICs and whatnot, but we got a teacher down at Texas A&M University. Students in for a rude awakening when he sent an email to the class and flunked the entire class.
I saw this headline. What?
Professor Erwin Horowitz.
You have to be a professor at that point, right?
Yeah, if your name's Erwin Horowitz, yeah.
You're
or a
like
lawyer.
7. You're like, I guess I have to be a professor or a lawyer.
He had enough writing. Since teaching this course, well, I was going to do a Jewish impression, but it's probably not right. I've caught and seen cheating, been told to chill out, get out of my space. These are the students, things that have been said to him.
Chill out, man.
Chill out, dude. Get out of my space.
Chill out, Erwin.
Horowitz, get out of here. Go back and teach. Been called a fucking moron. You're a fucking moron, Horowitz. To my face. Had one student cheat by signing in for another, one student not showing up but claiming they did. Listen to many hurtful and untrue rumors about myself and others. Been caught between fights between students.
Is that conduct becoming of an Aggie?
You wouldn't think so. Horowitz went on to say that none of the students deserve to pass or graduate to become an Aggie. So apparently it's not very becoming of an Aggie. Horowitz sent a similar email to campus administrators telling them that he had failed his entire class and said the students are, quote, now your problem.
Hey, FYI, that's awesome.
Good luck with that. Here's the class list.
Sounds like somebody had a breakdown of sorts.
Yeah. I'm guessing Horowitz. A Texas A&M spokesman said Horowitz is still employed by the university and that the failing grades will not be recognized. The report that all students in the class will be failed is not correct. He reportedly said that he rarely awarded failing grades unless students were cheating, but this approximately 30-person class was his worst in 20 years of teaching at the college level. A review on hallway.com. A lot of these, there's websites set up so you can rate your teacher.
Yeah. That sucks for teachers, dude.
Yeah.
I know that's just brutal.
I remember when, goddammit, son, Derek was teaching. He was teaching that.
Were people womping on him?
OCC. He was a
craft, right?
Was it Schoolcraft? I was going to say Schoolcraft. Yeah, you're right. It was Schoolcraft.
Teaching like biology or something.
Yeah, he was teaching some advanced. He was in some really high end, like.
He's got a PhD in immunology.
Yeah, so he was teaching.
He's
some
a nerd.
He's a total
super
nerd. Party like a rock star nerd, but a nerd nonetheless. And yeah, but he would always get them to rate him because they rated him through the roof. They loved him as a teacher. He was, you can imagine what Derek would be like in a classroom. I've been in classrooms with him, and he's the kids love him. Like little kid, I've seen him like go in and guest teach for like 6-year-olds, and they fucking love him. So yeah, he loved it. But I can imagine if you're Horowitz, not so good.
Combative with the students doesn't equal a good rating online.
Yes. And on a review on hallway.com from one of his students, called him one of the least empathetic people I have ever had teach a class. So full of himself and how smart he is. I could not stand him. A review on ULoop calls Horowitz very difficult. His exams are out of this world. He is the most difficult professor. RateMyTeachers.com, a review simply states, nah, brah, this guy is straight clown. So the class will be taken over by a department head.
I see the picture. It looks like there's a picture of him. I just wonder.
Doesn't it look like he'd laugh like,
yeah, boy.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a class like that where?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Where you're like, this whole class is clowns, or the teacher?
No, the teacher. Yeah, just full of himself, just a total egomaniac.
Just a
for
gas
sure.
bag.
For sure.
Really? Have you ever seen
most of my classes
at the great university or Michigan State University?
Dude, it's the exception, not the rule. That I don't know, dude.
Have you ever been in a part of a class though where you're like, this class is full of ass wipes?
Yeah, and you're like, God, you feel bad for the professor.
Yeah, like no one gives a
Yes.
shit, really.
Yeah.
So could you see a teacher going off the deep end if it got pushed any further? I mean, obviously this is rare enough to make
year
headlines.
after year, but these guys are typically paid a decent amount for the amount of work they do.
Yeah,
you'd think that'd be enough, but I guess everybody has their breaking point.
Yeah,
Irwin's no exception.
We found Horowitz's. And then I don't know how you guys feel about the deal that's going on like crazy right now with people breaking up with a chick and then immediately posting the revenge porn shit and posting.
Brutal.
I mean, for me,
right,
it's kind of nice to go
Dude,
check out
kinda
other
awesome,
titties.
actually,
You know,
but-
I don't mind that aspect of it.
Such a dick move.
But I would never. I don't care how vicious a breakup was. I would never post like any one of the 10,000 nude pictures I have of Beth.
It's
Like
so
never.
violative.
Just kidding, by the way.
It's
Right.
close to. I mean, you can't say rape, but it's it has that feel to me. Honestly, that
Really?
is
Rapey?
that
It's
is
got a
so
rapey vibe
bad,
to it?
dude.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it does.
Because
Wow.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put it out there, but
you view it all the
I
time.
enjoy it.
Really? Have you gone to those sites?
I don't go to the site specifically, but the site I go to, you can type that into a
What is
section.
it? Oh, what UJIS?
Yeah.
They have. What do they have?
You
What
just
is it?
type in a subject.
Dude, former boyfriend.
The only reason, to be fair, the
So
only
we take
reason
that?
I tend to like it more than the other porn is because it's more realistic than
He really likes realistic porn. He doesn't like the. He doesn't
The
like the
over-
vivid campaigns.
No, I don't actually. Like, I don't like that shit.
Except if it's Star Trek porn. We know
I
you've
would-
got a hankering for Star Trek.
He wants real hair around the
No,
asshole.
no.
And he
to
wants Spock involved
to
whenever
be-
possible.
No. The only thing that was for one. You got to understand that was before I had it. If I'd had it on an iPhone back then, I wouldn't have been paying for it. I would have just looked at my phone, and that was because I was at a hotel where I didn't have this readily available porn. They had it there, and I don't know why I chose that selection.
Did you
But
trash that room too?
no.
Can you think of any like buddies we've had over the years where you're like, that girlfriend was such a cunt? I wouldn't care if he posted, if he threw some titty shots of her up there.
That is such a dick move. I don't know. That's
You
really
can't think of
bad.
any of our buddies where you're like, fuck her. I'm not saying it's right, but it is revenge porn.
No, I can think of relationships where you'd be like, all right, I could see that dude doing that, but not.
Jesus.
God, dude, he's
have-
that's another groaner. He's just letting groaners go.
You don't want to be getting a tummy ache.
Tummy ache. As
Are you
if.
wishing a tummy ache on me,
The
Jay?
rumble, no, let the rumble out, man.
So for victims of revenge porn, this is ingenious. Copyright law has been the only way to get their naked pictures off the web. Hillary, and that's a fake name, is one of those people. She was in this long distance relationship, and it involves some nude selfies and videos. And like many, it obviously didn't work out, but then it got worse. Her ex posted those photos online to humiliate her. My ex continually asked me to send photos. It was uncomfortable at first, but I figured, you're in love, so why not? They were very intimate. There were lots of topless photos, a lot in bed, simulating sex acts. Cool.
I think we all understand what was going on there.
Yep.
When Hillary learned the images were public, she found she had little to no recourse. Given the pain that such an invasion of privacy causes, one would think that it's a crime. It is, but only in 17 states. Writing new laws is difficult because of fears that sweeping legislation would infringe on First Amendment rights. Websites host those photos often resist demands to remove images claiming free speech protection. The lack of clarity, and who does the victim go after? The person providing the photos or the owner of the revenge porn site? So it gets into that whole murky water there. The lack of clarity means victims like Hillary need to get creative and sometimes go to extremes. And in most cases, the first course of action is filing a takedown notice under Digital Millennium Copyright Acts. If the pictures were taken consensually and the website refuses to remove the images, suing for copyright infringement is the next step. So you need to register a copyright, which isn't difficult, but doing it right can be complicated and time consuming. And you have the, you have to give the Copyright Office a copy of the material you want protected.
Shit.
So it's like a double hit.
And then in the meantime, there's like 800,000 hits on it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then it's saved. But then you're stuck in a position of, even if you get an infringement,
how do you track it all down? It never gets wiped off.
No. When it involves intimate pictures, that means exposing yourself all over again, this time to the government. Hillary thought, well, no, this must be wrong. They're forcing me to disclose them further when that's what I was trying to prevent. The U.S. Copyright Office said the person processing the application would see the pictures. What a sweet job that is, huh? E, could you be that guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to review this carefully, frame by frame.
Exactly. So
make sure this is what they say it is.
I got a full docket today.
Right.
I'm reviewing Hillary's file. Good day at work.
I mean, well,
you think that guy just sits there and beats off in his office all day long?
You gotta be thorough, Mike. You gotta be thorough. You want to make sure.
Yeah, no stone unturned, right? E?
Exactly. If I had
make
to
sure you're
put
doing
some
your
extra
job.
hours in, I would. Maybe I would.
I think that's a job you could handle.
I think so too.
Work in the copyright infringement nude division.
I think it's maybe one of the only jobs in my life that I could be very good at.
I don't know.
Yeah, this Fady kid, he's amazing. He's working round the clock.
Right.
But he doesn't just have to watch it. He has to come to some conclusion, right? Some determination.
Exactly.
I know he's going to come to a conclusion.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
but is he going to make some sort of determination?
Be,
because again, if he's being asked to actually do something, that's
real quick. That would be the only issue maybe in my work ethic would be, I could maybe watch one, and then make a decision, one or two, but eventually I'm gonna have to.
Once you go limp, all of a sudden it's like when you finish, it's like,
I don't feel like watching this anymore.
It's all work. God damn it! I'm tired of work. Can I go to lunch now?
Plus, there's no dick in this part. It's a solo chick.
Yeah, if it'd be some
boring.
Yeah, just fast forward to the ones that were masturbatory.
He needs a dick. He needs a dick involved. He's admitted it. This is not news. It just struck me again as odd.
I don't find a chick pleasuring herself attractive at all.
Needs the dick in there.
So you could do it for gay sites, for like guys that are jilted.
No.
I mean, if you need a dick in the picture, you could do it for
a dick and a vagine.
Mm-hmm.
Beggars.
But that would be the problem though. Once I masturbated, then it would be like,
it'd be boring all of a sudden.
All of a sudden
what does he need? What is it? The refractory period?
Yeah.
During that refractory period for E would be the most boring work ever. As soon as he gets rock again, this job rules.
Exactly.
Work now, Nana. I'll be home late. Working late at the office again.
Right. The office, as it were.
Got his briefcase, empty briefcase taken into work.
That would be. I do want a job at some point where I have to engage a briefcase. I kind of have. That's the only reason I kind of have my.
You do realize this job could be that jobby, right?
I know. That's
you do know that.
That's why I bring that in here.
I carried not a briefcase, but a case full of shit for.
When he was a producer for a show. Yeah.
I had books and articles and contacts.
Now you're a quote unquote producer. What do you do?
Oh, we don't.
That's a very liberal.
I don't really need that anymore. I got this laptop right here.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, all told, Hillary made 3 different registrations for a total of over 100 images. She ultimately chose not to copyright the videos. Hillary's pictures were not put in the Library of Congress. Even with all the stress, Hillary was arguably in a better position to fight back because she had taken the photos herself, which gives you ownership of them. I don't know if people know that, but
right, we've talked about that on here
a little
before.
bit. Yeah, but if I take a picture with your camera, you don't own it. Technically, I'm the photographer of that picture, and I would. It's weird.
Yes.
If the person that took the photograph is the victim, then they have more rights in terms of being able to pull down the information from online. If somebody else took the photo, which is often the case, then it's even more tricky.
So what's the lesson here, E?
Don't take nude pictures.
Don't let that dude take pictures of your ass.
Yeah, let's not go over the line here. Let's not go over the line here. Come on.
Right. I mean,
we don't want to encourage that kind of behavior, Jay. Come on.
Agreed.
You want that dude to keep taking pictures of his ass? All right.
Well, no. I'm talking about girls.
Yeah, I just don't want girls.
Yeah.
Want to stifle this?
Yeah, this is a movement that we need to work on this. We could do it better, but I don't think we want to shut it down altogether. Jeffrey Dahmer. Do you remember much about Jeffrey Dahmer?
One of my favorite cannibals.
Yeah, one of mine as well.
Name another one.
Hannibal Lecter.
Is that a real person or just a movie?
What do you think?
Yeah. That was based on someone, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I think
Hannibal Lecter is a character in a movie.
Okay.
Probably a book first, but
you don't remember Hannibal Lecter?
Not the person.
Clary.
Hello, Clarice.
I was making a joke.
Did you see the movie?
I never saw Silence of the Lambs.
Dude, how
is that possible, E?
Oh, I don't know.
Hello, Clarice.
The funny thing is, I saw.
I'm having an old friend for dinner this evening.
I saw Red Dragon, which was like I think the third movie of that.
That sucked.
Which is funny.
Is that the one with Ray Liotta?
I don't know.
Name another cannibal though. I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, we had the guy in the story the other day that ate that chick's brain, and
but a well-known one.
Well-known cannibal.
Fuck, it's Dahmer, right? Dahmer's the one.
Dahmer's the main one. There are others. We're missing some big ones.
Fuck.
There have been some other ones.
God, that was a grisly story. Out of Milwaukee, was it?
Milwaukee, yes.
Yeah. And he was going to gay bars, picking guys up, and then bringing them home.
He was targeting the big.
Yeah. Oh, he would have been the. Oh,
could you imagine if he grew up in Milwaukee in the late 70s?
You'd have found that freaking grill in the refrigerator.
Yeah, he would have been so targeted. What? We're going back to your place, Jeff, to have some drinks? I'm in.
That neck would be
deheaded.
A perfect perch atop of a shelf in a refrigerator.
Yep.
This is a misunderstanding. I'm not supposed to be here, Jeff. What happened?
I would not.
Running around nude, trying to dodge the knife.
The butcher's knife. Well, the guy that murdered Jeff Dahmer, peach of a fella, he kind of looks to me a little bit at first glance like Robert Griffith, quarterback.
Yes.
Washington Redskins.
Absolutely.
If you just look at it like that real quick, you're like,
kind of a puffy version.
Little puffy version. He's a little older. They were both in prison. He's revealed he attacked him because Dahmer kept taunting inmates with severed limbs he had constructed out of pieces of food.
Like taking a piece of chicken and chicken leg.
I guess.
Oh.
His name is Christopher Scarver. He's 45. He beat Dahmer to death with a metal bar in prison in 94 when they were both serving life sentences. Dahmer was sent to prison after he confessed to killing 17 men and boys between the ages of 14 and 33, starting in 78, including rape, torture, dismemberment, necrophilia, and cannibalism. Scarver said that Dahmer was clearly unrepentant in prison and would clash with many other protesters. He said he would taunt fellow inmates and prison officers by fashioning limbs from pieces of food and drizzling ketchup on it so it would look like blood. He crossed the line with some people, prisoners, prison staff. He put these things in places where people would be, so they were sure to see him. He said that prison guards and inmates were subject to Dahmer's sick, sadistic mind games and practical jokes. Scarver said he was disgusted when he read about the murders Dahmer had committed, and one day when they were left alone, he confronted him about it. Dahmer was said to always be escorted by prison guards just because, well, he's the number one cannibal ever. He's Jeff Dahmer.
It's our favorite cannibal.
Yeah. So, until one occasion in 94, when Scarver claims he was left alone with him and another prisoner, Jesse Anderson, whom he also killed.
Oh,
yeah. So Scarver's a real peach of a dude. Scarver was in prison for shooting a coworker in the head after demanding money from him. In November 94, he attacked Dahmer in a gym with a 5-pound metal bar and beat him around the head, crushing his skull.
Damn.
He later also killed Anderson, who was in prison for murdering his wife in the same way. This is a great trifecta. This is a great story. All three of them off the tab.
Damn, man.
Scarver was given 2 life sentences. Ooh, on top of the life sentence he was already serving. That'll show him. He'll learn from that. Dahmer committed his first murder in 78, young hitchhiker named Stephen Hick. And then some of these details. By day, Dahmer worked in a chocolate factory. God, that sounds awesome. working in a chocolate factory. And then at night, he would go and he would just hunt Big E's. He would go to the gay bars, and he was looking out. He'd invite him back to his Milwaukee home.
Yeah.
So they could drink alcohol, and he could take pictures of them naked.
That was back in the Polaroid days.
Only
right?
pictures, right, Jeff? Just pictures. Nothing more. Nothing goes in here. I'm not breaking my anal hymen.
Those are copyrighted. Those are mine.
Those are my hymen photos. Only pictures.
Intact hymen.
I do not go to gay bars, so he wouldn't have got me anyway.
And you don't have an intact hymen. We get it.
And you've performed in them, though.
Not a gay bar. It was a theater.
Well, Jeff probably would go to the queer theater.
Maybe.
Might find you there. And you'd go drink with anybody. We know that. You'll go have some cocktails with anybody.
You'll buy me chicken fingers?
Chicken fingers on you, Jeff? I'm in. Let's go.
That's true. Grab me chicken fingers. I'll
Wait,
go.
these are people fingers.
Well, put enough breading on them. And
Jeff, I need my head. No, I need it.
So it's one of those head transplants I've heard about. I've heard the guys talk about this.
It's not going to be. You're talking about something.
This is bullshit. Fuck you, Jeff. Fuck you. No, seriously, fuck you.
There weren't head transplants back then. Come on now.
That's true. That's the ridiculous part of the story. That's what you take exception to?
Yes.
They hadn't invented those yet?
I would have never said that.
I wouldn't have even known about him yet.
Right.
Will you at least point my head up to the moon? Maybe Jay's looking at it tonight. When you cut it off, Jeff. I bet Jay's looking at the moon too. So just position my head up over there by the moon so I can see the moon.
My God.
Don would then drug his victims and then kill them by strangling or stabbing them. He would dismember his victims and eat parts of the bodies and save others in the fridge when he got a little full.
Oh, God.
He was caught in 91 when his 18th intended victim.
Jesus.
91. I thought 94. No, when he was
94
killed in 94.
was when he was
Okay.
killed. Yeah. 91, his 18th victim, 52-year-old Tracy Edwards, managed to escape after Dahmer had put him in handcuffs and tried to attack him with a knife. Edwards takes off from the house. He only had one hand in cuffs.
Totally nude, right?
Oh, yeah, and took off running and
Blood
flagged
all
down a
over him.
cop.
I thought I remembered a young kid running out, like a 13-year-old kid or something. Am I imagining
Yeah,
that?
no, I thought that was.
Or maybe that preceded that. Like a kid escaped and he talked his way out of it somehow.
Yeah, you might be right. I thought there was like a 12 or 13-year-old.
He's like, oh, yeah, that's just my friend.
Yeah.
Cops are like, oh, okay.
But he was one of these sociopaths that would totally pass a lie detector.
Yeah.
And it's just, this upstanding citizen that works at the chocolate factory. Edwards managed to escape the apartment after punching and kicking Dahmer. Officers Bob Routh and Rolf Mueller followed Edwards back to the apartment, but they were struck by how calm and friendly Dahmer at first appeared. Edwards told the officers about the butcher's knife in the bedroom, and one of them went to check on it, and he saw photos of mangled bodies posted on the wall and a foul-smelling blue barrel in the corner.
Oh.
He called for his cop partner there to arrest Dahmer, and as one of the officers subdued him, they opened the refrigerator and found a human head inside.
Dude, can you imagine having that moment as a cop where it like clicks? Holy shit. And then you turn around and try to subdue this dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's like a horror movie.
Further searching of the apartment revealed 3 more severed heads, multiple photos of murdered victims and human remains, and evidence of some kind of dismantled altar adorned with human skulls in the closet.
Fuck. Do you remember? Did you mention a drum or something like a blue?
Yeah, he had the blue drum.
Yeah, I remember them taking
Acid.
that out. Ugh.
There was a trunk too. I remember them carrying out evidence they're taking out of the house. And there were human heads in that trunk.
Damn it.
Think about that. Like you go to work as a cop. That this could happen to me. Fingers crossed.
When's that happening? That right along?
It's coming up. I've got the dates.
Uh-huh.
I do. I've been in contact with Officer Mike.
Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. He gave me 4 dates in May, like a Friday, Saturday, and another Friday,
really
Saturday
did it.
next week.
Huh.
The emails are gone.
They're right
And
here.
he promised me that I would have absolutely no contact with a sticker badge.
Okay.
He said he wouldn't do that to Officer
Wouldn't
Walters.
dare.
Yeah. So I'm ecstatic about that news. But yeah, imagine that you go to work. I mean, these are just cops on the beat. These are just 2 cops. And all of a sudden some new dude comes running out. He's like, that guy's got a butcher knife. And you go in there and you crack the Dahmer case.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Ugh. Insane.
Hey, at Zot Ford, They believe that life is all about choices, and that's precisely why they want to give Detroit Cast listeners all the choices they can. So for a limited time, you can lease a new 2014 Fiesta, 2015 Focus, or 2015 Fusion for just $149 per month for 24 months. Sure, they might not have a choice that K-Dog's an asshole, or that the King has a stainless steel gavel, or even that Webster refuses to leave the house. But you do have the choice to come visit your friends at Zott Ford and take advantage of these crazy deals. So the choice is yours: Fiesta, Focus, or Fusion, all for just $149 per month at Zott Ford and Holly. Check out their massive inventory and sweet deals at ZottFord.com. That's SZOTT.
We'll get to email in just a second here, but we got a 51-year-old guy. I don't think he fits the profile of what you would think that dude would be doing.
Oh, pedophile.
Really? Does that scream pedophile to you?
Let me see.
No, he looks like a guy you'd be paired up with in a foursome.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. If you said he's
Some
an
middle-aged
executive
white guy, yeah,
he's an executive at Ford, but you're thrown into a foursome with him. You'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, Bob and I can golf. Well, this guy thought he was meeting a 10-year-old girl and her father for sex.
Oh, walking amongst us
as part of he turned up for this sting operation. Thank God it was a sting operation. He brought the 10-year-old a Disney dress.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. Michael Doherty is his name, former youth sports coach. You're a youth sports coach, aren't you, Jay?
I'm more in administration.
So you have a look over even more youth than a coach would be.
I'm just
broader hand and things.
So you've got more control than Michael Doherty would have, and more access to young children.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying there's a connection, but we can't rule it out just yet.
Need to clarify.
Yeah. Just for full disclosure, I think it's only fair.
Right.
You got to be completely transparent here on the Detroit Cast.
Undercover detectives first messaged Doherty after he posted an advert online saying he enjoyed incestuous sexual relationships.
What the fuck? I guess there's something for everybody, right?
Honestly, did you think that was possible?
Don't throw just right me.
Yeah.
No. Not into incest, for the record.
Well, Holy, I mean, I think technically you and Holy's thing was incest.
Talking?
Yeah. Well,
come on, E.
We know how it started. We know how it ended. So
peel the onion, E. Let's get a little deeper today.
Rest in peace, dear Holy.
Where'd you put her? What'd you do to her, you son of a bitch?
She's alive and well and living a full life.
In your mind. Since that's all that's left of her.
All right. You don't want to count Holy as incest, your sister, then?
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
You have said that she's the hottest of her friends, and what did he say?
He said he'd do her.
If he had to, he would do her over her other friends.
I did not. Whoa, that's not what I said.
That was something like
you
that.
asked me if she wasn't my sister. If she was just a.
No, you didn't take that off the table.
I certainly did not say if I had to over her friends.
We said we might have asked if she wasn't your sister, which one of you, her or her friends, would you bang?
That's not
and you
what
said,
I
my
said.
sister.
That's not
That's
what
right.
I said.
We had a picture.
No,
of
that's
them
not
at
how
the
you
palace.
word it. No.
How did we word it then?
It was flat out just, is your sister good looking? I said, I don't know. I know she's not ugly. And then you said, if she wasn't your sister. And I said, yeah, maybe. That's how it said.
So you
I did
bang
not.
your sister.
Essentially.
You would.
No, not my sister.
Well, you just said you would.
Another human being that looked like her that was not related.
The fact is she's your sister,
I
and you
could-
bang her.
I could-
You said
I
you'd
could-
bang that person, and the fact is she's your sister.
She wasn't my sister.
But she is. And
So
you
I
already
won't.
admitted you would.
So I wouldn't.
If she wasn't, but she is. So.
All right, your mom, your sister, or Nana? Which one?
I'm not answering that question. I'm forget it.
What a scenario. Your mom, your sister, or Nana? Really? Out of you? Or Tony.
Now,
You can throw
granted,
Tony in there too.
There's a little something different for everybody. You know, it depends on your taste.
I would expect that out of me, but you, Jay, really, you? Doherty thought, so this sounds like a misunderstanding of sorts. He thought he was messaging a man who was having sex with his 10-year-old daughter.
Oh, it's a big misunderstanding.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
In his response to the father, Doherty said he had sexually abused 4 children between the ages of 8 and 12 within the last 3 years. He sent nude photos of himself for the dad to show his daughter and said he wanted to watch him banging his young daughter over Skype. So I don't know if that's his way of saying, are you really legit?
Well, I wonder what the cops did at that point, whether they sent him some, file footage.
I don't know. That's a good question. We should
because in order to get the guy to think they're still legit.
Yeah.
He sort of called him on it. Like, hey, I'm going to give you something. You give me something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you massage your way out of that just talking. Well, we want to save it for you.
You would think they would be smarter than that.
And you'd think that these guys deep into the shit have seen most of the file footage out there, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you get some piece of video that you've seen, fuck you, man, you're
we,
fake.
We should talk to our cop buddy who specializes.
See how you would deal with that circumstance.
Yeah, because that has to come up.
Yeah,
I mean, you would think that would be.
Yeah, it's
the
game
thing.
of poker at some point, right? Where you're conversing over the computer. You're trying to decide, do I drive up there and try to bang this chick, or do I?
And Aaron was telling us about how Chris Hansen got the idea for To Catch a Child Predator from the Michigan division that they worked in, and it kind of blew the cover on how they would do shit. They really did it like Chris Hansen, and it kind of fucked up their thing because now this reporter's broadcasting it to the world.
Didn't he say he literally wanted to follow that group?
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, no. And so he created his own, basically just copied them.
Yeah. So he sends these nude photos and he wants to Skype to see the dad banging the 10-year-old girl.
Damn it.
Then in late March, they started talking about meeting up so that Doherty could watch the man abuse her in person. And they agreed to meet on April 8th when he was traveling to the area for business. Ahead of the meeting, Doherty told the man he was having second thoughts. I told myself I would never do that again. Yet here I am about to. And then on April 8th, he drove to Miami to do it again.
Couldn't resist. He couldn't resist.
He stopped to get a Disney character dress. They don't say which one, if it was Olaf or I don't know what.
Dude, it's definitely Frozen related.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, you could go with an old classic,
either
Cinderella
Anna or Elsa, dude.
Really?
It's probably Elsa.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But speaking to the police, he said he wanted to meet up with the man to confront him. And this is another misunderstanding because it turns out the guy didn't want to go there to watch the dad bang the daughter or to bang the daughter in front of the dad. He said he wanted to meet up with a man to confront him about the abuse and did not intend to meet the girl.
Of course.
So,
dude, that's the big story on To Meet Up or To Find a Predator.
They're always there.
I was just here to tell her how dangerous this was.
Yeah,
you got to stop doing this.
Has that ever worked for anybody? Ever where the cops went, well, boy, is my face red.
Yeah,
on your way, sir. Thank you. Lesson learned.
Sir. I've got a medal.
Yeah, we need more people out there like you.
Yeah, looking out for the well-being of others. Civic duty complete.
Animals.
He also acknowledged that he'd been writing stories online about having sex with children for about a decade.
Dude,
that seems normal.
Walking amongst us. Look at the picture of this guy again.
Well, here's the thing that proves that he was really just out to do a good deed. He said it would be hypocritical for him to report the father's behavior. So instead, he decided to speak to him about it face to face.
Oh, yeah, that's a good reasoning.
So it's got a good ending anyway.
God, what a manipulator, to even think that, I'm going to manipulate my way out of this.
That's brutal.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Delete. I don't even think you chip a guy like that. I think you just fucking delete it. What do we got for email, buddy?
We do have some email, Mike.
Do we? What?
Nothing.
He's always struck by that.
Mm-hmm.
That
the
phrase.
two things. The
little dance we do there about email.
Right. The email.
What do you mean?
Well, like
the idea that we wouldn't have email.
Right. I mean,
I don't know that we always have email. I can't believe anybody listens to us.
I know.
So I'm shocked every time there's email coming in. I really am.
I'm just hoping for a day that you're like, so we got an email. And just nope.
No.
And then it's just
all right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Nope.
Yeah,
coming.
Ross chimes in during the show. Actually, he says, "Dear Fukfases, all three of you." Whoa, Ross. Whoa.
I'll take Fook.
I got Fase, I guess. Are you fucking serious about your stance on the one woman actually parenting her kid during the Baltimore riots? First, you bitch about kids throwing rocks at the cops, and now that someone is actually doing something about it, she's a monster for beating her kid, as if you actually care. What was that woman supposed to do? Politely ask her child to come home with her? The kid is in a fucking riot. If you can't give that woman credit for at least trying, then I've lost a lot of respect for you guys.
I totally give her credit for trying.
Ross had respect for us.
Well, that's a mistake, first off. No, I totally respect her. And obviously we're kind of being smartasses when we talk about it. I think it was great what she did. What I think is disgusting is the fact that now she's put up on a pedestal, as Jay said, and that's not even a joke. It would not surprise us to see her at the State of the Union address or, with Obama and being praised as some total hero, or getting a reality show out of this, raising a family in Baltimore with act so-and-so. And that part seems
and the idea that that's where we are, I guess, where you do the bare minimum in parenting your child and you should get a medal, I guess. Right?
I mean, if there was a riot going
Congratulations.
I would be disappointed if the story wasn't that Gab or you ran into the middle of a riot going on at a high school,
grabbed Russell by the scruff of the neck
and fucking yanked him out of that shit in a heartbeat. Like, no logical parent would let their kid do that. And you would.
But the bigger story is that she's the only one we've seen do this.
Yeah. And I guess that makes it a big deal. But I would expect that parents would do that unequivocally.
Yeah. And we're being facetious when we object to her beating him.
Yeah, give a shit. He deserved to be beat.
Absolutely.
But it goes more to the fact of the times we're living in, where parents are being told how to parent their kid, and that's too far, and this is too much. It's just funny that here there's video evidence of a woman literally smacking her child about the face, and nobody has said word one about, that's probably not the proper way to discipline your young youth. You don't want to hit him. That violence begets violence, and that's where the cycle is complete.
Another 12 hours of the news cycle, and that will happen.
Probably. You're probably
they'll be picking apart all this video that's going on. And somebody will have that opinion.
Yeah.
Beth writes in, hey guys, met Big E at his show Friday night at Laugh Tracks and wanted to let you know how impressed I was with him.
What?
Yeah, this is a mistake. She
Did he
met an imposter, clearly.
Yeah. Did he not spill his food in his lap or something that she was impressed with?
Not spit his chicken fingers out in her face as he's munching on them and talking.
Yeah, whatever. I guess it's
nice to meet you or whatever, lady.
Whatever, lady. You look old, by the way. Yeah. How old are you? 35. Well, you're over your prime, lady.
Gross.
But like that old lady said.
35, gross.
That old lady just told me she liked my show. What a weirdo.
Exactly.
Beth says, yep, you read that right. He was super nice and extremely gracious, thanking me several times for being a loyal listener and supporting the show. I thought you should know that he did a great job representing and promoting the podcast. And I kind of feel like when my kids come home from a sleepover and the mom's like, I want you to know that they really behave themselves. They were good boys.
You're proud?
Yeah.
Are you a proud parent right
now?
I'm
a little confused, actually, with the context with E in this context, but I'll process it. And it was not the awkward person, says Beth, that I expected to meet at all. I think it was yesterday's show that it was mentioned the show-related phrases you guys say in normal conversation that no one else understands. Big E did this during his routine Friday night. At one point, he said scenario. You son of a bitch.
I know. What? I think I corrected myself.
Yeah, then promptly followed with sorry, scenario. Pretty entertaining to the listeners in the audience. No one else got it. Picture is attached for you. And Mike, please, more White Lion. Thanks for continuing to entertain us all, Beth. There's the picture. So, do you remember her?
I remember her
vaguely. E.
Wow, although I do,
she's cutie.
She didn't say that. She didn't put this in. She didn't put this in the letter. But I think there was a time where I did sort of babble a little bit at one point. And I think she was like, "Well, anyway, nice seeing you." And I think I was just still talking. So
steered her away.
She's cute. Did you go for it? Did you give her a balls in your court? Or
I think she was there with her boyfriend or husband.
Well, you don't care about that.
Yeah.
You've never cared about a boyfriend or a husband. You've been very, very clear and honest about
Did you say something like, you let this guy stick his dick in you?
Nah, I didn't say it that night for some reason. And hey, real quick, just if you're gonna
oh, he's got his hand by his mouth. That means he's gonna tell us a secret.
No.
Here comes a secret, everybody.
I was just gonna try to do something.
Listen to the secret.
If you're gonna do it, I'm just gonna try to segue that thing about the comedy into Flint. So remember, there's a
very seamless. Well done.
Right. Well, only because of you.
He's now going to tell us about another comedy show in Flint.
Because of
Go,
you.
E.
No,
well done.
It wasn't. It would have been seamless if it weren't for you. Anyway,
or you just babble.
Anyway.
That's all, folks.
The Eagles Club 629 off Dort Highway in Flint at 9 p.m. on Saturday.
Dort Highway
this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
By the way, it's funny that kind of like the lady who's beating the shit out of her kid and is gonna get awarded Mother of the Year for it. E should be able to promote this podcast. It shouldn't be rewarded that he's able to. No,
Right.
it was actually weird. He
He
represented
gets
well.
a medal for doing the bare minimum. Way to go, E.
No, yeah, see, or something.
You know what?
Well said.
Speaking of Mothers of the Year, I'm just going to quickly see what our baby's doing right now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
See if
That's a
she's
good point.
sleeping.
Now there's a Mother of the Year.
Yeah,
by
to
the
give
way.
me access via my phone, an app where I can just check out the baby
And
anytime.
yell at said baby.
E, what are
Yeah.
you doing for your mom for Mother's Day, which is coming up?
I don't know yet.
Do you know it's coming up?
What are you doing for Nana?
I only know that it's coming up because of commercials on TV or radio or something.
Or whatever. Joe writes in, I don't know what it is. I never get bummed out when you guys make fun of anyone, but Abby, the Abby thing is different.
Why?
You remember Abby?
We were making fun of Abby. What a poops.
Where are my glasses? My pink glasses. Where are my pink glasses?
Come on, stay with follow the story, Abby. You remember they made you take them off for the picture because they were
Yeah,
so
what-
thick.
Where are my pink glasses to wear in picture? Where's my glasses?
She not remember what it was.
At first, I was disappointed that you guys were getting cheap laughs at this poor little girl's expense. As the segment went on, I started to laugh.
Cheap laugh.
And then I realized that because it's you guys making fun of her, I can laugh guilt-free because technically I'm not the monster making fun of somebody's sweet pie.
That's right.
You guys took that burden off of my shoulders, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Joe.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Forgive yourself, Joe.
Where are my glasses?
Yeah, we did that for him, for his benefit.
I didn't think we were brutal to her, were we?
No.
I, again, recused myself from the story.
I know you did.
But then when I saw really the crux of that story was the bullshit outrage.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about ripping on a kid because
Mhm.
she's a cutie pie, no question
She was
about it.
absolutely adorable. And she looked better with her glasses on.
My glasses. My pink glasses. Where are my pink glasses?
Bill writes in, aerobics instructor, Mr. Prater, Willie, and stock lover. I'll take the instructor.
I'll gladly take Prater Willie, whatever.
First of all, I'm listening to 330 right now, and I'm wondering if there's any way you could send me the drop of what do. Are we really going there again?
No, he's fucking with you.
What do?
My word.
My word. What did that gentleman do? I hope he's not serious.
Let me see that. Did he just mistype? Is this a typo?
Dude, he said, what do? Again, people, it's what do. A gentleman happened upon the scene of the
He
Michael
said
Brown.
it twice, so he meant what do.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What do?
Yeah, you want to explain it really quick for
It's-
the newbie?
A gentleman is happening upon the scene of the Michael Brown murder.
Right. Execution.
Use that-
Whoa,
use that.
again,
Broad
who are you?
daylight. Unarmed teen.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
You didn't know who I was talking about.
If you remember, Michael Brown laid in the street for 4 hours.
In
Uncovered.
the prone position, although I
Yeah.
thought it was supine at the time.
Right.
And this gentleman came upon the scene and asked the question, very relevant question, what do?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know where.
And it was captured beautifully in a single piece of digital audio, which we've enjoyed using. However, some people, I think, have misunderstood it as what do.
What do?
There. He's clearly asking, what did that gentleman do?
What do?
What did that unarmed teen
I wish
do?
I could go back and see that guy say it. Like, I'd love to see him just like. My hope would be the camera would be there, and he would just look right into the camera and go like, "What do?"
What do?
Yeah, he's stumbling across police tape and he just walks up, and as people are filming, and he happens upon a dead guy laying in the
He
street.
has the question.
What do?
What do?
Hey, brevity is something.
What did this gentleman
Wait,
do?
wait,
what
what?
action did he partake in?
My word. So Jay and I had joked that had a white person stumbled across the same exact scenario,
It would have taken more words, but
Yeah.
it would have gotten to the same point of.
What do?
So
and it would have sounded like, my word, what did this young gentleman do to wind up lying supine in a public thoroughfare?
there you go.
And instead, in the black community, it turns out with
What do?
Hey, and that we should
way
mention,
cooler, by the way.
we
that
should mention
version.
someday if we ever get our new website, which we've talked about in the past, but someday we will have show highlights that can be shared easily.
Yeah.
In a simple way, just a simple click of the mouse. You can share highlights of the show with your friends, maybe little snippets that they can listen to and hear what the show's all about instead of just sending them sharing the whole show.
Yeah,
it might be an easily digestible 5-minute snippet.
Yeah,
and I say that because what do is one of those snippets.
Yeah, and so we're crystal clear on this. The guy says, "What D-U-D-E-D-O? What dude do?" He's not saying what D-O-D-O.
We all got that?
We're all on the same page now. What dude do?
All right.
Hold on.
We'll wait for you.
What do?
So Bill would like to request the what dude do drop so he can use it as a ringtone, which would be fucking awesome.
Phone just ringing over and over. You have a call coming in, sir.
What do? What do? What do?
Call
What
coming.
do?
We have a call
What
coming in,
do?
sir.
What do? What do?
God damn it, answer your phone, Lamont. Where's my phone? Anybody see it?
What do? What do? What do? What do? What do?
Hello. CR writes in. My mom had her eyebrows lasered off and then got them tattooed back on.
My mom?
My mom had her eyebrows lasered off and then got them tattooed back on.
Okay.
She was tired of trimming / managing them. My mom is in her 60s.
Is she a Vulcan?
Yeah, he says. Yeah, ...
That's awesome.
Well put, CR.
My mom is in her 60s. Yeah.
She had them lasered off, then tattooed back on.
She was tired of trimming, managing them.
It's fucking awesome.
Oh, that's great. That's really fucking funny.
Rob writes in. I went to see Chappelle at the Fillmore in 2012, and it was brutal. After his opening act, and we talked about the complaints that came in from the Fillmore, just last week, right?
Yeah, Thursday. He did a few shows, but
Rob's hearkening back to 2012. He says after his opening act, he begged the crowd, they begged the crowd to not heckle Chappelle. Chappelle came out and did a little over an hour. He had maybe 20 minutes of written material, and the rest of the time he just sat there smoking and waiting for people to heckle him so he could make fun of them. Well, the 20 minutes of written stuff was ridiculously hilarious. It wasn't worth the $80 I paid to go. Just wanted to share my Chappelle story. Goodbye, BUI for now.
Yeah.
I think it says, P.S. Mike's, quote, this idea of, end quote, is quickly turning into E's, quote, the concept of, end quote.
What?
Your phrase, the idea of. The idea of.
Yeah.
It's kind of an introductory phrase that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have crutches. I'm sure that's one of mine.
You know.
Yeah. Fuck. I know.
Yeah, I do it. Does E not realize that prodigious is a word? He stumbles over it and then changes it to prestigious every day.
Every time.
Is prodigious not in the white trash dictionary?
I think it's become more of a thing where I've made the mistake.
Don't try to act like this is a bit.
It's clearly typed out. That's not prodigious.
Prodigious is typed out.
That's not what I said. That was not going to say.
Oh, my name is Big E.
No. I didn't. I was not about to say that.
I'm here to tell you about an incredibly prodigious dealership, Zotford and Holly.
Prestigious.
Prestigious or whatever.
I was not about to say it's become a bit. I think it's become more of a thing where sometimes I've made the mistake so many times and now I just said, I don't know.
No, we know. Kevin writes in, Big E surely is white trash.
Ooh.
Okay.
You going to take that E from Kevin?
I don't care.
Almighty, knowledgeable king. I'll take that one. Podcast, studio, dwelling, homebody, and white trash.
I'll take that one.
Fase. I've been trying to email in for a couple of weeks, but I've been so busy with work, I've not been able to. However, while listening to Tuesday's episode, I became so worked up with Eric's argument to Jay that he does not speak like white trash. I had to stop what I was doing, walk out of my customer's house, and write this email so that hopefully Jay will read it and conclude that not only do you certainly speak white trash, you are at the center of the definition of white trash. Here are a few bullet points. You are above the age of 30 and live with your saints of parents who without you would likely be posted up renting a room from a meth head in a trailer park.
That's partly on me. I'm going to take that one because E was living on his own before I called him back to do this. So
you have attended multiple NASCAR events and are a NASCAR fan. I'm not shitting on
not anymore.
Not shitting on all NASCAR fans, but it really fits a certain stereotype. You do not shower daily or likely even buy daily.
Shower every day this week.
You honestly didn't know how to clean up your seat after you toss off. You fucking sweep the trash in your car out randomly with the sweeperoo
Sweeperoo.
for other people to clean up instead of throwing it in the trash like a real human with,
Whoa.
with
Just
actual
wait a minute.
class.
Let it go.
And to the fact and issue that breaks the camel's back. Monday's episode, you stated that if you indeed knocked up a chick, you would just put the check in the mail and not want to ever be involved with the kid, making you a stone cold piece of shit deadbeat dad. These facts conclude not only do you speak white trash, like and or whatever, you sir are white trash.
Wait a minute, give me that. There's several points in there that aren't even right.
I heard some very good arguments.
I
wouldn't want to
say good fucking day, sir.
I said good day. Wait a minute. One, the sweeperoo, it's really just more of a name. It doesn't just go into the yard. The sweeperoo is really just more me picking things putting it in a bag and putting it in the trash. It is not literally me sweeping my hand and putting whatever's there.
So he's lied. So he's lied about the sweeperoo.
which goes to his credibility.
It's a
Certainly
nickname.
does.
Speaks to your credibility.
No, I did not lie about it. It's a nickname I gave up for it.
Don't worry, E. Not everybody believes you're white trash. Major
Well, hey,
Impact
real quick.
chimes in on YouTube.
Wait, one second. I don't watch NASCAR anymore.
But you did for years and years and
Yes,
years.
I
You
did.
have NASCAR tattoos on your body.
It's true.
No,
You
E,
wear a NASCAR jacket still, so shut up.
That's true.
he says, no, E doesn't talk like white trash. He talks like an overly effeminate, uneducated idiot.
Oh, wow. You're right, Jay. This is offending
That's
me.
better. That's
He
better.
can't
I'll take
get,
white trash
he
over
can't
that.
get through a single read without stopping and giving a play-by-play of what he's thinking about.
This is what I was thinking about. No, see, when I don't
it's
say
crazy.
prodigious,
I mean,
I
what
mean,
I'm going to do
prestigious
from now on?
or
Every time
something.
Jay reads something, I'll just start babbling on during you talk.
Yeah, you
You're-
should do that.
Maybe I will. Just questioning every single word you say.
We'll
You
save
good,
the rest
sir?
for tomorrow.
All right. Well, let's
Oh.
get out of here then for a Wednesday. Thanks everybody for hanging with the show. Make sure you, if you're not already doing so, follow everybody on Twitter. We will get more active with that. Walters Radio, Big E Detroit Cast, and at J Detroit Cast. And if you're on Instagram, there's the Detroit Cast. We're on there. So yeah, follow us, like things on Facebook. All that stuff helps, believe me. So please continue to do that. If you're not already doing so, then join the fun. And with that, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all new Thursday edition.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God, watch you grow. No,